back, everyone. Welcome back to the final day here. The RSL, the Rival StarCraft League Season 6, day number 6. The final day here of the RSL playoffs before BlizzCon. Let's go, let's go. We're here, we are back. I'm Coach SIVIP with him, joined by these amazing players and by the Wheel Chat as well. And by our main casters, State, Gemini, Sturgeon, and Tasteless. But we are here, we are back. We returned with the... I misspoke. I said RSL. Is it the ZSL? It's the ZVZSL, baby. Ay. Non-sub Zerg players from here on forward. We have our top 4 players remaining in the tournament, and it is purely ZVZs. We have Shin, we have Solar, we have Rogue, and we have Serral. 4 Zerg players left in the tournament. I was hoping that we would have a little bit of diversity and hoping that either Hero or Clem would be able to advance on and make it through for some diversity. That is not the case though. Pure ZVZs. Let's go, baby, let's go. We are getting ready here for the final broadcast day. Now, getting into this, of course, it's going to be a best of 5 coming to a best of 7, 2 series remaining. Serral, he did come out yesterday, last night, as the first player to qualify for BlizzCon. He is going to be waiting in the grand finals, waiting for the winner of all these matches. We have basically 3 players battling it out to determine who will advance on to compete at BlizzCon, to compete in the grand finals, which again is going to be on the 13th of September over in the Americas. Meanwhile, as you can see here, we do have the offline finals, the end of year finals, which will be after BlizzCon in November. This is going to be in London, in the UK, land of the UK here. We'll be having that end of year finals, so look forward to that as well over in November. Crazy, baby, crazy. Last year it was in Seoul, South Korea. This time it is going to be over in the UK. Just catching up. See, all things Zerg League. True. All things Zerg League. Ay. Just catching up. Clearly no Terran and Protoss free zone. Oh no. Shema. Bienvenidos. Let's go. Had no idea the regular slate game ZVZ meta. Yeah, ZVZ. It's quite rare. I mean, hey, we had a full best of 7 last night, and we only got there once, right? We only got there once, which is you go from Roach versus Roach into Hydra Lurker versus Hydra Lurker into Viper versus Viper, right? Like that's a dynamic that used to be a lot more common a couple of years ago. Again, during like the Gressfan era of StarCraft. But nowadays we rarely get there. We got there once. Last night. Do we get there again at some point in tonight's broadcast? We may get there. Unlikely though. Unlikely considering the players that we have, considering Shin, Solar, and Rogue. Like, I mean, just like last night, we should be getting some hyper aggression, a lot of Ling Bane aggression, a lot of Roach all-ins as well, a lot of fake outs, mutaplay, attempted mutaplay, punishing mutaplay. We might get a late game situation at one point here, but it's not really expected. But it may happen, right? We got it once last night. We'll see if we get it again. Of course, map dependent as well. True. Last night we got there on Celestial Enclave, which is known for greed, which is known for longer games, because you get a free third, right? Remember, on Celestial Enclave, you get a free pocket expansion, so it's hard to be aggressive early on and to punish a 3-basing player, so you have a higher chance of getting longer games on a map like that. True. But here we go.
Like,
here we go.
We're not even on the front page of Twitch. We weren't yesterday. But our viewership on both Twitch and YouTube are crazy good. What we're not yet hitting is people watching the VODs. Right? That number's much lower. So we're very happy with the live viewership, but
speaking of,
the reality is for a lot of people,
exclamation mark YouTube in the chat. So you can check that over on YouTube. We do stream on a daily basis. You can catch our VODs, and of course you can catch out the RSL VODs as well, whether it's on this channel or over on the RSL channel as well. YouTube is the place to be. True.
Yep, here is our schedule. The story so far in Season 6. Yesterday we
Tell
saw
us. What's the story?
Hero bow out to Shin. Clem was eliminated by Solar, and then Serral beat Rogue 4-3 in the winners finals, so he is the first player confirmed at BlizzCon. Today we'll find out who will be the second one. We have Shin versus Solar, and then the winner of that will go on to play Rogue in another ZVZ, and whoever wins that one will be going to BlizzCon.
Yes. So we already have Serral, confirmed here for BlizzCon. He did make it. He had you know, the perfect run, basically. Although I got to say, Cyril Rogue was insane. Man.
Oh, that series. If you haven't watched that series, go watch it. 2 of the games were like, the first game, I was like, this is the craziest EVZ I've ever seen. And then the other crazy one happened. And I'm like, no, now this is the craziest one I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was nuts. It's going to be hard to top, honestly.
Yeah.
So the loser is out of the RSL. The winner will go up against Rogue, and they will be fighting to see who will get to be on that stage at BlizzCon. So we're going to start this out here on Eternity's Edge. Guys, let's get into this best of 5 here.
Okay, we have a best of 5. Vitas are done. Shin versus Solar is going to be our first series of the broadcast. And oh, we're just jumping right in. Jesus. Okay, show us the moopies. Show us the intro. It's going to go over the map, so never mind. We're just, we're just jumping right into the game. Oh, it's had Eternity's Edge. Yeah. I didn't check if we got copyright strikes. The Nova. Hold on. I should check that. I should check that. I'm assuming that they're using copyright-free music for this. I'm making that assumption. I'm gonna check right now live.
We are loaded into the first game of this best of 5. It's gonna be Solar in the top left, Shin in the bottom right. And
It looks like it's good.
Overview of these players. I feel like Solar's been around for a very long time. Very good in this matchup specifically, kind of an Olgard, or there is a Temple on the way from Shin.
Yep,
We'll
Temple.
be seeing those links come out shortly, but Shin is kind of a, not a newer player, but someone who's risen to the top in more recent times and really found his form and his highest skill peak in the recent years. So I would say overall, I'd probably give Shin the edge here, even though I think Solar might be historically.
If you're in the chat, and we're loading into our first series, best of 5, lower bracket semi-finals. In the bottom right-hand corner, we have Shin. In the top left, we do have Solar. We have our ZVZ. If you're in the chat, predictions. Predictions are now open. Place your bets. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Best of luck. Let's go. Let us go. Likewise, when we're getting into this, of course, we have our 10 pool here out of Shin. We're going to be hyper aggressive. Solar is going for his own pool first. Solar's going for almost a counter, a build order counter here, a build order win. If Solar's going hatch first, Shin could get damage done. With Solar going for the early pool, he should be safer. Much, much safer here.
But, you know, people are not going to stop playing StarCraft. This game's going to be around forever. I'm always curious, is there going to be a moment where we're going to see that flip and Shin come out on top? And you know, Solar's kind of right there with him too. Kind of in the number 2 spot for Zergs.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. Right now, we do see that Temple, the Lings moving across the map. Shin will be expanding behind.
If you're curious as to how a 10 pool works, a 10 pool is not an all-in. A 10 pool is not an all-in. It's like a 12 pool from the previous patch where you're looking for damage. I want to say you're hoping for at least like 6, like around 6 drone kills. But again, because Solar went for a later hatchery, because it went for an early spawning pool, Solar, he should be comfortable here. Should be, but Solar's early game defense has known to be a little bit shaky.
Out about this now.
Yeah, this is rough. You know, it's very, very hard to save the hatchery. You basically have a choice. Do you cancel? Do you run down?
No, he should not
try to save it.
He's going to cancel.
Cancel the last second.
What?
There's no way.
Yeah, opting to not pull the drones and
Solar.
try to save this.
Yeah, we've seen games where people do pull the drones. This is a kind of a different approach. You basically run the clock by letting the hatchery take damage and then circle back around and try to defend on
Solar's it looks like he wants to go for an all-in. Because Solar, he went pool, hatch into gas.
How many drones are going to be killed? How many drones are going to be made?
But Solar's in a very rough position here to be forced to cancel. That should not have happened.
Just running around. The Queen adds a lot of firepower here and tanking ability. So I think the aggression is basically over for Shin. The win that he got here is that he forced the council and he has to remake the hatchery. And the thing that made this difficult to defend for Solar is that the Lings did run around the first Overlord. So Solar already spent his lava on those drones. He went up to 19. Whereas if you see it with the first Overlord, you can start making Lings right away. And you have those Lings out, you can pull the drones. But in this case, he sees it later, so he says, okay, I'll cancel my hatchery for now.
Even though he saw it later, because of his pull first, he could have still made the decision to pull the boys to buy some time to allow for his Lings to pop out. So this was a really odd decision from Solar. I did notice that Solar, he was banking up more gas. I was curious to that. He's going for an Evo chamber into +1 melee. So it looks like Solar, he's going to Ling aggression. I'm assuming it's going to be melee. It could be very, very, very early carapace, which would be weird. But eyes are on Solar. Regardless, Shin is looking very comfortable here. And you can see, as a result of the opener, Shin is ahead. He's ahead in workers, ahead in economy. 27 to 23.
Yeah, so he's getting the carapace. And that's the big advantage that he has as the defender. His gas was already made, so he could start collecting that earlier. Shin gonna start gasless here, but eventually add one on and go straight into the roaches. Probably try to skip the Ling phase of the game. There's a lot of Lings out already for Solar, though.
Yeah, this is really early carapace. So with carapace being resources early on, this usually leads into like a ring roach all in. The reason why I say that is because carapace affects both lings and roaches as well. Like it's like a catch-all upgrade, and especially in a ZVZ, it can be quite impactful. Lings, they move out, they nibble away at the wall, they do get a kill. Okay, do we get a queen?
Get past the queens, gonna decide to fight them instead, forcing the drones to be pulled.
You know, honestly, that was not bad by Shin at all. You know, I think a lot of times you think of the perfect defense, like nothing could get in there, but the fact that he killed off a bunch of Lings and basically just forced an Evo to cancel, that actually was, like, pretty perfect.
Yeah, indeed. This is an interesting situation we find in.
I mean, that was a kill. Yeah.
The layer timing is right.
I was gonna say that. Shout out to the observer. Map was pointing out as well. He's like, guys, like that was killed, not canceled. Like that was a shaky moment there for Shin for sure. Shin is skipping link speed, going to 2-base roach, and because Shin is building up on 2 bases, Solar won't really have a window to make use of this upgrade advantage.
Link speed, you know, is starting right now for Shin.
Yeah, and plus on carapace is about to finish, but we can't really use it. Like there's nothing to make use of.
What?
Oh, he full walled.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's like a pretty big brain fart to have happen.
Yeah, he's going to have to kill this with his army.
You can see the queens don't really kill it that fast either. So he's basically, he's become entombed in his base while his opponent's taking the 3rd base. So this is like really bad.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
Really.
I thought he would skip Lings, but he is actually getting Ling speed going into +1 melee. But I mean, there's already the carapace upgrade out for Solar. He's going to go Spire behind this.
Yeah, it's a fake. He's faking.
So maybe Roach Muter here.
No.
Versus the Roaches on 3 base.
Okay, so there's a lot going on here. Very quickly to correct what they were saying. It's not bad that Shin walled off because the plan was to go 2 base anyway. So the fact that Shin doesn't have a 3rd base is intentional for Shin. +1 melee is crazy. Link speed is crazy. He's going for a Link Flood. He's going for a fake out essentially. He's hoping he could try to fake 2 base Roach to his opponents. Meanwhile, behind it going for the Spire. So that's why he just cancelled Roach speed, as you can see on the production tab. Like that's why we were saying it's a fake, because he's faking Roach speed. He was faking for Roach speed, faking Roaches, going into meter play. Meanwhile, Solar, he is not droning. The hope here for Shin is that Solar drones, builds up his economy, and then gets caught with his pants down. But Solar, he's going for his own all-in. As you can see, Solar does not make any more workers over 49. So Shin is in trouble. Shin was hoping to try to catch Solar with his pants down, but you know what it is? Solar, he has a belt on, Bappy. The belt is on. He's crazy.
I'm not sure if that Overseer actually got in and saw the Spire of Shin. Did Solar see that? I'm not sure. He did not see that, so he may not know exactly what's happening. He'll see all these Lings, though, and that can be a tell in and of itself. Like, where is your gas going?
Yeah, and Solar's been making roaches this entire time.
There's a lot of Lings here from Shin.
Does surround the queen.
Yeah, the Lings are going to come in here. They can isolate the queen. And
roaches, they turn back around.
Here, the next set is going to come right through. It's actually going to run by the queen and run back out. Now, these are Speedlings versus, well, now the Blue Lings get speed, excuse me. So he's going to continue to chase him around. Shin's going to be taking his own base right now. And from here, Solar...
And here comes the counterattack. Again, Solar, he had plenty to defend. He's going for a massive counterattack as well. Behind this, going for the Hydra Den. He's where the Mutas.
Yeah, they will be able to fight the Mutas, so he's caught on to what is happening here. But so many units knocking on the door of Shin right now. Even though the Mutas are out and uncontested, there's a lot of DPS on the ground for Solar trying to
he's breaking through
into this natural.
Takes out all the queens.
Kill the queens. You'd love to get
but
on
he
the
needs drones.
and get some damage done, and here he goes. The drones trying to be saved, as many as possible, but they are starting to fall here.
Yeah, he gets into the mineral line. 7-8 drones going to be going down. A couple of roaches, they peel off into the main base. So far, this is okay damage to Solar. He needs more. He still needs a little bit more to be done. Shin will clean this up. He'll counterattack, but back at home, Solar has the Hydra Den.
Pretty good layup for Solar. I mean, I think the next push is going to be really hard to make work. I mean, you know, there's kind of a catch-22 that happens here where Shin, he has to make drones because otherwise he's not viable economically. But then by the time he's made all those drones, he doesn't have an army to actually defend with. So, I mean, this is a very winning position here for Solar.
Yeah, indeed. Shin will have the map control for now, though. Be able to clear off all of these overlords from the map and drone up himself behind it. But like you say, he's playing catch-up at this point. He's 10 drones behind. The infestation pit is already on the way, almost finished. The Hydra Den is already done, so he's going to go into that Hydra, Roach, Infester. The Infester is so key for fungling those Banelings, stopping them getting the connections on the Hydralisks here. The Queen count is very good. That's going to be your anchor point against these Mutalisks here.
Yeah. So we've got 6 Infestors coming here. Air weapons, by the way, about to be done. 6 Infestors is actually more than I thought he would make.
Yeah, that's a lot to make
a lot.
at once. That's
Yeah, I think what's interesting to me here is that Sola, he's going Infestor before Hydra. Like, he's skipping Hydras entirely at the moment, at least. He does have the Den, but he's just going Queen, Infestor, Spore. Like, it's very greedy. It's very, very greedy here from Solar. But so far, he's getting away with it.
We've got the worker count, by the way, caught up now for Shin. The problem is like we said earlier, it's the army count now that's going to be bad. Shin takes his 4th base, and we know, there's going to be a point where Solar's going to have enough Hydras that he's going to pull the trigger.
Yeah, once he starts to get to a near maxed out army, can be very difficult for the Lingbane Muta player to actually take a good fight, but he has the mobility, he can still counterattack, he can harass, he has the quicker 4th base as he has the map control for the moment. There's one Changeling, going to get into the main, get a scout on if he's going Hive or not. That's a very big key moment when that non-Muta player decides to go for the Hive, if they want to go for Vipers, anything like that. It's always an option that you have to be on the lookout for.
Okay. Well, he hasn't decided to move out yet. Wants to continue to try to...
Yeah, well, at the moment, Solar, he can't really move out. He's just waiting to build up his Hydras. Basically, Solar's being hyper greedy, droning up completely on 3 bases, taking up into 6 Infestors, and then should be pushing with one massive Hydra army. Now, thankfully, Shin is making Roaches, but again, he should be down in army, down in upgrades. Like, it's going to be a tough hold here for Shin.
Mind game me twice in this set already.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to commit to the Mutas because he got the melee upgrade, but he is actually going back into Roaches here. So he's going to try and force an overcommitment in anti-air.
Well, Shin's got an extra base, so I think what he's trying to do is just counter the push. And then if he counters that, he's up a base, and the game simplifies a lot, right? Then it's going to be his turn to make sure Zerg doesn't get a 4th of his own.
Yeah, indeed. If you make, put so many resources into countering Mutas, getting the tech out for that, you might not have as big an army on the ground, but Solar decides it's time. He is moving out on the map right now.
Yeah, he's on the go. Now he's got those 6 Infestors ready to go. Nice counterattack coming over here to hit the 4th base.
Yeah, Lings get distracted. We do land 1 Fungal. We still have, again, 6 Infestors, and Fungals are landing.
Sucks for Solar. And by the way, it's kind of crazy. The counterattack, I think, is actually going to kill the hatch. Does he save it?
He's going to have to try, but these Fungals are huge right now. Just endless Fungals right now. Roaches have a lot of HP, but over time, he's starting to whittle down this big ball of Roach Ravager here.
Yeah, Solar, he's lacking a ground army. Where are his reinforcements?
Not enough anti-air to actually...
Solar, where's the rally? What's going on?
Unless he has another Fungal left in the bank. Okay, no, he will actually deal with those, but so much Roach Ravager here left for Shin.
Like, what? Where's the production tab? I want to see what Solar been spending his money on.
Take out 9 o'clock. I mean, he's just going to organically end up right where this finish.
Like, Solar, he had no reinforcements. What happened? Where was the rally? Solar's just dead. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. Can we? Did that hatchery actually get killed, or is it being remade on the set? Okay, it did get killed. It just got
died
killed.
then.
Okay. Because I was about to say, if it looked like
it's hard to like. I'm assuming he was he droning? A little bit. It's just they weren't showing the production tab, so I'm not sure like what was being spent and how he was reinforcing, if at all.
Okay, so they're both on 3 bases right now.
But Solar, he's lost his lead.
Yeah.
He's lost his lead. Like, that was meant to kill. That was meant to be it. But he was lacking so much.
There's still Mutas on the field. Enough Hydras and Infestors to deal
Shin.
with those 4 now.
He is in this game. He's ahead.
So weird. If you just looked at the production tab right now, you wouldn't have guessed how this game had gone or how it started.
Yeah.
It looks like they're just playing a Roach macro game, but yeah, Shin went for Mutas. Now he's transitioned back into Roaches. And the work count's even. The supplies are pretty even. They're both maxed out now. Yeah, we've reached like equality somehow through different routes.
Yeah, and Shin's just going to try to shove in here. This angle is horrendous. I mean, this is so much better.
I mean, the angle is rough here for Shin, that is true, but like he has the bigger army. Like, he's able to just brute force his way through. At least he's trying to. Fungal's now coming in. Solar's holding.
Yeah, I think
do we have another Fungal?
Is very close. So the Infestors don't seem to be adding much to this fight. Just the 1 Fungal. The trade starting to go a little bit better for Solar here with the Defender's advantage. The Mutas come over. They don't do much anymore, and This is on a knife's edge, but I think Solar might just be holding here.
Yeah, Solar's got
Yeah,
it.
Solar, he does have enough. The Queens, they help so much with the transfuse as well.
This is kind of crazy. I don't know if Solar can go all the way across the map and hit the hatchery. I think he might just not have enough. And we're going to have a gold base taken here. Sorry, who's taking the gold base? Okay, sorry, it's Solar. Great play-by-play with me, and I'm like, and somebody's taking a gold base.
It's a mystery who, but someone's getting it.
Yeah, and finally, it feels like Solar, his better quality army, is actually paying off here. He's got a couple of Hydras in the mix. He still has retained the Infestors, which is important, right? Like, he still has the Infestors from earlier in the game that can still support.
He's had a lot of extra income.
Solar can still take better fights.
Now he's going to be the
Here he comes.
moving into this third base of SHIN. He still has some fungals left. The Infestors have been preserved as the engagement
The
begins.
fungals happy. Oof.
Okay, Solar seems to be making this work. There is just not quite enough for SHIN. The fungals, they're really starting to accumulate that damage, and that's going to be it. Game 1 goes to Solar. GG.
Yeah.
Wow, what a wild game. Started with the temple, then it ended up SHIN trapped in his base.
Yeah.
So he goes muted.
GG, well played. Again, an impressive recovery there from SHIN. He should have been dead when it comes to the first push. Like when after the mutas failed essentially, after Solar crippled the economy, switched into 6 Infestors and pushed across the map, that was supposed to kill. That was supposed to end the game. But yeah, Solar, his reinforcements were lacking. SHIN, he was able to have the better defensive concave, and despite taking all these fungals to the face, like he still held. He was still able to hold on, defend, get a better fight. Then he overextended. Then SHIN, he overextended. He went for the counterattack. Because the Infestors were retained, that still factored in. We had all those queens made earlier. They helped defend as well. And with that, GG. With that, GG well played. Solar does claim the game in the end. But a very messy game. Very messy. Very back and forth.
One of the things I think he's the strongest at is a longer game.
Yeah.
Right? He's kind of the Zerg's Zerg, right? Like he's the guy that's going to kind of survey and react and cut just enough corners that he's always ahead. But yeah, it was super close. So these two guys are making great games so far. It's going to be a tough match for whoever moves on. And we are ready now to go into game 2. So we're going to go to Old Sun Temple here as this series continues on.
Yes, we're going to the Vatican. To Roma, papi. Roma. Gonna go meet Ezio. We're jumping in.
Well, with that zoom out of the map, I never noticed how clean the water is on the Old Sun Temple. You should go back if you're watching that video. That's a perfectly clean water.
You could drink out of that.
Yeah, I could see my reflection in the water from all the way up there. All right, so we are going to go into game 2 now. We'll see if anybody goes for a super fast pool.
Here we go. We are going to be opening up here. In the top right-hand corner, we do have Solar. Top left, we have SHIN. Again, we have our ZVZ, game number 2. Remember, this is a 4-player spawn map, so 4 possible spawn locations. Both players are droning, they're saturating, and we have close spawns, and they're about to scat each other. They both send overlords in the same direction, and they will find each other's location. Because of the close spawns, it is going to be much more difficult to get up to high bases. 3 and 4 bases are going to be difficult. Because of the rush distance by ground, aggression is going to be favored here, for sure. Aggression is going to be favored, and we're leaning more towards these Roach or Lins. Now, last game was very intense, was very dynamic, very back and forth. We'll see who's going to be the aggressor first here. We'll see if Solar once again goes for an early Evo Chamber and early +1 Carapace. We spoke about this yesterday, but Solar did popularize going to early +1, early Carapace, and these like big +1 timings. That's kind of what Solar's known for. That's what he has been known for a couple of years. We'll see if that trend continues here as well.
Close together.
Yeah. So, I mean, there, for SHIN in this case, he's going to have a little bit of an edge just with the scouting. He sees his opponent immediately. So we'll see if it's an expand here. Just because it's rotationally symmetric, SHIN can't still see what's going on. I don't know if there's going to be any kind of reaction that SHIN can have to this based off this. Or I guess not, because they're literally doing the same thing, excuse me.
Yeah, both these guys are going to hatch first into the pool, and the gas in the pool. The Overlord going to make its way all the way into the main of Solar, whereas SHIN's Solar's Overlord is just going to check the natural. We'll actually have time to get into the main. I don't understand why Solar's is so much slower than Shin's. I think he went slightly more towards the center of the map or something. With a bit of a different route to get here, but eventually both these guys will get the info, exactly what's happening, what the build is. They'll see a couple drones coming out here, so they'll know it's no crazy early cheese or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, in a game like this, we're basically just looking at the production tab, right? We need to see, like, okay, who's gonna deviate first, and what are they gonna do?
Yeah, for the most part, I mean, again, standard opener so far. We're building on up from here. We're waiting to see the first big deviation, whether someone stays in gas, whether someone goes for an earlier Baneliness. As you can see here, Soul only has 2 in gas as opposed to 3. So we're playing standard so far. One player might just wall off on 2 bases and get into 2-base play. We might try to cut some corners, skip a Baneliness as well. As you can see there, Shin also does pull 1 out of gas. So standard play.
Yeah, Shin is going to match that. And so right now we're kind of in this phase of the game where both sides are basically powering. The Baneling's nest is never necessarily a nod to aggression. You do need Banelings to basically defend against their Banelings, right? So they're basically, for now, just ticking all the boxes of ZVZ development.
Yeah, if you take a third base and your opponent all-ins you with Ling Bane, you basically can't hold it without Banes of your own. So if you take that third early on like this, you basically need to get a Baneling nest behind it, whereas if you go for a 2-base build, you can kind of skip it, try to go straight into the roaches or something like that.
So Shin is making more lings. He's got 8 lings coming.
Ooh, early Eva Chamber.
Like a, you know, an attack amount.
Remember what we just said at the start of this game, how Solar, he's known for going into +1 carapace. That's kind of like his thing. I see your Eva Chamber. I think +1 carapace.
And the Roach Warren has been thrown down here for Shin first.
Yeah, we also have an Evo out.
That is a hidden Roach Warren.
He's going to go for the carapace upgrade. A lot of Zergs favoring this in the matchup at the moment after it became cheaper in the most recent patch.
Solar's always doing this.
Here actually sees the Roach Warren at
Big
the
scout
back of Shin, as well as the extra gas.
He reacts with his own.
It's only the second gas there. You might think it's the third gas, but it's the second gas down at the natural there. So good scout there. He's going to come back in once again, try to get a follow-up scout, but this time he's denied.
Yeah, so there's an Evo being thrown down here for Shin. He will be behind in the upgrade game. We're going to see if Solar can try to take advantage of that armor upgrade. It's about 25% complete right now.
I mean, we talk about taking advantage because the earlier Roach Warren out of Shin. I'm sure Soul's expecting Shin to be more aggressive. Shin knows he's been scouted, so this is where mind games come into play. True.
Roach production has already begun here for Solar. Shin follows in suit. Shin is sitting on a few more drones, so his eco is slightly better, but his units will be out slightly earlier here.
Who's favored in this ZVZ? I don't favor anyone. Like, in ZVZ, I think I said this yesterday, but between Rogue, Solar, and Shin, any one of them can make it through. They all trade. They all trade series. Like, there was a time when Solar had the best ZVZ in the world. That was like 2 years ago. Like, that was like, which I mean, that period of time is still like stuck in my mind, and I still respect that, of course. But that was quite some time ago. At this point, Shin beats Solar, Solar beats Shin, Rogue beats Solar, Rogue beats Shin. They all like trade. They'll trade. They'll go back and forth. And they go back and forth in such a way where we could even see 3-0s, but like really close games anyway, and a little bit like based on builds, and that can be a big determining factor as well. It's a hard one to call for sure. It's going to be a hard one.
The Lings are there to tank. And, you know, the Lings, they can reinforce so fast.
Just because all 3 of them are hyper aggressive, all 3 of them are in your face. Even now we're all leaning, by the way. Even here we do see that Solar, he does cut workers very early on. Solar's going for a big all-in with +1 carapace. He does have the better upgrades, and here he comes. This is it. Solar's here to end the game.
He's trying to make this happen right here, right now. Some Lings come from the back, but they get dealt with. A lot of Ravages here.
Shin did make 10 extra drones, so he's in trouble.
Reposition for Shin.
He's in trouble,
looks like he may just have enough with the defender's advantage. He's kind of on a knife's edge right now. More and more Lings flooding in for Solar. Is he going to be able to close out this game?
Yeah, I mean, he's got basically 2 different fights going on. One at the top, one on the left.
Yeah, we have more reinforcements on the way. Solar, he's running out of steam. The all-in is running out of steam, Pappy. He needs more Lings.
The Ravagers are going to finish.
He needs a little bit more.
He's doing a great job. Basically, every time a Roach gets low enough, you force
a
Ravager egg out.
He does it. Yeah. Whew, Lingzay coming in time with that Lingzay buffer very well here. Remember, +1 carapace, we spoke about it earlier. These Ling Roach all-ins are very common for Solar, and he does break through.
think he just took his hands off the keyboard there. He knew it was over.
Yeah, great timing there by SHIN.
Yeah, Solo just decided, hey, you know
Sorry.
what?
Yeah, by Solar.
You said great timing by SHIN? What?
Both the names start with S. Is confusing.
I was like, what?
Yeah, Solo was the guy all in there. Went for that big attack. I think that kind of makes sense in the horizontal positions.
It does. GG.
Pretty close
GG,
together.
well played. We spoke about it earlier. All-in's are favored based on horizontal spawns, and Solar, he pulls a trigger, gets across the map. SHIN over-droned. SHIN went up to 51 drones, so he made 10 extra workers. Did have some roaches to work with here, but again, did over-drone, and you also have less time to react because of that distance by ground. On top of that, not just the distance, but because of Solar's really fast Evo Chamber and really fast +1, he had the upgrade advantage as well. GG. GG, well played. With that, Solar's up 2-0. He's up 2-0. And can Solar claim the series here and now, or will SHIN begin that comeback? Again, game 1 was very intense. Game 1 was very back and forth. Here in game 2, it was more one note. Here it was just Solar, early Evo Chamber, +1, Ling Roach all in, 41 drones. GG. Like it was very, game 2 was a little more just concise, decisive. Alas, SHIN, he was not really scouting. He wasn't checking what Solo was up to. He wasn't checking for the Evo Chamber timing or the army moving out. So SHIN was working with a little bit less information. If you remember, SHIN did go for the earlier Roach Warren, so I assumed he was going to go for earlier aggression himself. But because he got scouted, he chose to drone. Which makes sense, right? That's when mind games come into play. If you go for some hidden tech or an all-in, if you get scouted, especially at this level of play, it's unlikely that it works. So you tried to deviate away, go caught out. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be going on a break. Going to be going on a break here. When we come back, we'll have that third game, potentially the final game or the beginning of the comeback. We'll see you soon after the break. See you soon, Pappy. See you soon. back. Oh.
Solar and Shin.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the RSL Rival StarCraft League Season 6 Playoffs Day number 6. We are back. We've returned here. We're halfway through the series. Halfway through the first series, Solar's up 2-0. He's up 2-0. Game 1 was very intense, very back and forth. Game 2 was a lot more decisive, and so far, Solar is up 2-0. He's up 2-0, and we'll see if he can close it out here and now, or if Shin can begin that comeback. As you can see here, we have the map orders. Game 3 is going to be a Necropolis. If we get to Game 4 and Game 5, Ruby Rock and Fear and Faith. Now, Necropolis is a more defensive map in the map pool. I will say that. Remember, Necropolis has a unique feature, which is a ramp coming into the natural. So 2-base play is more favored, and the potential for 2-base meta, or just 2-base shenanigans, is higher on Necropolis. So we could see some shenanigans there, but the pressure is very much so on Shin. Let's go. Yeah, we got that Undercity vibes.
Was it State yesterday that said they were like, oh my god, it's almost Halloween? Like, that didn't make me think it.
That's good. Also, shout out to State and Sturgeon for jumping on and casting as well. I did see the comment in the YouTube chat, of course, giving us some praise, giving us some nods. So thank you so much. We appreciate the support, of course. Saying, don't know if you've seen us in offline events or been invited, stuff like that. Being here in Australia is really rough. I mean, you know, when I say rough, I mean it's specifically for StarCraft. All the big offline events are, of course, mainly in Europe or in Korea or even in the Americas. It's all very far away. It's all very far away. So the idea of us going to an event to cast or to be a part of it, it's very, very unlikely to occur. So unfortunately, I have actually casted some offline StarCraft. If you've been around the channel for long enough, then you know. But in was it 2021 or 2022? But we had PAX Australia. With PAX Australia in Melbourne, and there was a StarCraft event at PAX Australia, and I was there casting with Pig. And of course, infamously, I did cast ANZ Champs in the ESL studio in Sydney. I casted that alongside Maynard, and Zeph as well. So I've done, you know, some Aussie casting, but that was like, again, 2020, 2021, 2022, quite some years ago at this point. outside of that, that's all the offline experience that I've got. Outside of that, just online StarCraft, of course, and we've casted everything, right? Like we were the B stream for Homestar Cup for a good amount of years, B stream for ESL Pro Tour for a good amount of years. We were the B stream for I Am Katowice. We got the B stream for like Dream Hacks as well, for example. Like mainly like a side stream to the official stream is what we've been covering and where we've been. Nowadays, of course, there's a little bit less StarCraft going on, but always there with what we can, what we have. Just have a lot of experience in our own way. That's why we always say, that's why we at least up until this year would always be very proud of the fact that we cast more StarCraft than anyone else out there, more than Wardy, more than Rotterdam, Steadfast, more than anyone else. We have the hours, but we have the hours. But this year specifically, we're easing up. We're easing up a little bit, calming things down, spreading our wings, casting a little bit less than we used to in years gone by.
Essentially the same position. The Zergling speeds are about the same timing. Baneliness getting thrown down by Shin, though. It looks to me like it's a little bit earlier.
We're opening up. We are going to be opening up here. So far, standard openers.
You can get it a little bit earlier if you want to be.
Yeah, just pointing it out. So standard openers, hatch gas pool into a Baneliness. Now, something that we did try to bring up here. Welcome to Necropolis. Again, Necropolis is a bit of a larger map compared to what we've experienced so far in the series. So there's a little bit more distance between ourselves and a very defendable 2 2-base setup and a very defendable natural. We can see that both players are expanding though. No one is playing 2-base. No one is playing 2-base. And likewise, this time Solar did not go for a fast Evo Chamber. Remember, last game there would have already been an Evo Chamber by now for +1 carapace. There is no chamber. There is no timing available for Solar. Not this time. Our players are making some lings. We're taking up as well. Shin, once again, just like last game, fast Roach Warren. Really, really fast Roach Warren. Now, my assumption is that last game Shin didn't Roach all in because Roach Warren got scouted. We'll see if that comes true. Right now, the Roach Warren is hidden. We'll see if it stays hidden, and we'll see if he actually uses it, or if we just get into a longer macro game. For now, Ling Bane aggression.
So this
We're just
looks
poking.
like a Ling pressure into a follow-up Roach all-in, if I had to call it right now.
Yep, for Shin, yes.
As it is, Solar has enough to deal with these Zerglings, but of course, they are the first wave. He's going to try and get this Zergling to get a scout. It actually dies without seeing the Roach.
And there it is, 6 Roaches. 6 Roaches on the way. So, again, in my mind, what we're seeing this game from Shin is what he wanted to do last game, but he got scouted. This time, he's not been scouted. He's committing. It's all or nothing. Shin is going for the all-in. We'll see if it works.
Trying to get some Zerglings around the map, trying to get some information. One more is going to find its way inside. And
oh, he sees! Oh my
That's a
god.
great piece of information.
Solar.
He needed that, and he got it as basically as early as possible. So
He
now
confirms
he's
the
got
all-in.
Exact amount of time to
Wait,
react
he's
to this.
droning?
What is the reaction going to be? He's getting some spine crawlers. The Roach Warren is very late from
His Roach Warren's very delayed here. So even though Solar knows what's going on, it might not matter. He can't make any defensive Roaches. His Roach Warren is so late.
It's just too fast moving across the map. It's going to have to be a
It might not matter. Oh my god.
defense for the first part at least.
A little bit wasteful.
That one Balin, ooh, just doesn't go off. But
Nice
here come the
pickup.
Roaches making their way across now. I think the spine.
Yeah, Shin did waste one of his Banelings, but he does snipe the Baneling of Solar. Shin is getting across the map. It's all or nothing.
Base is basically forfeit. I think there's no way you can hold that.
Yeah, you can see the drones are already evacuating. Unfortunately, a few Roaches.
And Shin has to make a choice. Does he spend time here at the third, or does he push into the natural?
Look at that. Yeah, he's even just
He's going for the third.
making sure that those do not go there, as another one does accidentally get made as well. But yeah, he can't really do anything on this third base, so that's going to just be killed off. He's going to try to defend in the natural, but the arm.
Yeah, Spine Crawlers are finishing. Roaches are amassing for Solar. Shin, he's running out of time. He's going to keep going.
Fly block Solar, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah, some Banes
Ugh.
roll in, but the defense is good with the
Yeah,
Queens.
it's too
and
late.
Now the Roaches coming out.
It's too late. So the all-in has ended, and Shin is droning.
I mean, he was very committed. You had to kill a base with it, but it wasn't 100% all in. He does have an out here, which is that he has a third base back at home, so he can drone that up, try to leverage an eco advantage. Solar still has a couple more workers at the moment, and he has the layer on the way.
Yeah, so a good job from Solar just to delay
Yeah.
everything, making sure that it took as long as possible.
Like, this was okay from Shin, but again, he made the choice to spend time at the third. Right, he made the choice not to push into the natural, so this means that Solar is in this game. He's still alive. Solar, he has the tech advantage. He's ahead in upgrades. He's ahead in lair tech as well, and he has an equivalent worker count on 2 bases, so he has an equivalent economy at the moment. He is down to third base, but Solar is not out of this game.
Delayed, given how aggressive he was, so we'll see if Solar is able to leverage this in any way.
Yeah, the layer now just about to finish for Solar. He's got his carapace on the way.
Solar could go into Roaches, or he could even go for Spire here. He's going for the Spire.
Throw down a Spire behind this. So it's going to be Roach Muta. And, I mean, Shin's layer is about just over halfway done, so he's not very close to getting an answer to the Mutas here in terms of anti-air. Going to go for the missile attack himself. And I'm just curious, how aggressive does Solar want to be here? Is he going to try and make units and kill the third, or is he going to try and use the Mutas to take map control and then drone behind it? He has a few different ways he can play this, and Shin has no idea that the Spire is on the way right now.
Yeah, he's really blind to that fact. He's not been able to get any sort of scout into the main base. He's got a couple Overlords in position that could potentially go for a deep dive as an Overseer, as one is being morphed right now. And yeah, it's going to be right next to that main base. So this is the information that he needs to be, the way that he can get that information that he does really need. And then he can potentially react in time. He got a large drone count behind this, so he's nice and set up on these 3 bases.
Nice scout.
And now he will get that information.
Shin, he gets in, he's aware of the Spire. So, again, the advantage that Shin has, he still does have a worker advantage here, as he's been able to saturate his third base a little bit faster. Now he's taking up as well, but again, as we mentioned before, like Solar, he has a chance to recover in this game. Mutas have a lot of potential.
Oh, the Overlords, they're taking a shower.
The Roaches
the
are
Overlord
taking a
filth.
shower, man.
Yeah, oh, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, the Roaches are taking an Overlord shower there. Filth.
Absolutely
Just Zerg
filthy
filth.
Zerg things happening on our screens. Some Ling's going to find their way into the main base, try to target down a couple drones. We'll be able to get a few, but not going to do too much else there. But yeah, all the Spore Crawlers getting thrown down, like I was mentioning, that's obviously a necessity against the Mutas. They can do incredible damage, and then the Spore Crawlers, of course,
Yeah, nice thing, my 4 drone kills.
Just 1 or 2 can dissuade a really large flock since they have such great anti-Muta damage. So
now the question here is Solar going to go mass muta or only a handful? And so far it's only 6. Only 6 mutas, so it looks like it's only for map control, just to harass, just to poke in. He's still fixated on a ground heavy composition instead. Meanwhile, Shin, does he overmake Hydras? Does he? Hopefully, I mean, we'll see if he does actually support his ground army with Roaches as well. If he does go too heavily into Hydras, he can get caught up by Roach Ravager.
That he stopped making them at 6. Shin doesn't know this, of course. He can see how many are on his screen.
Oh.
He doesn't know what's happening back at home just yet. And it's always kind of the dance. You have to make anti-air to deal with the mutas, but you don't want to make too much so that your ground army doesn't have as many resources.
Yeah, Sturgeon, he's touching on it.
What is this setup we've got going on here? It looks so funny. I feel like they should get extra HP regen when they run through that or something.
that would be
Don't you think so, Gemini?
That would be an interesting tactic that I would not like to explore.
Imagine that, the Overlord like creep drop rush.
Oh
You're healing in it.
Oh god.
It's like a shield battery proxy.
Please get out of my get these thoughts out of my brain, Sturgeon. Anyways, yeah, no, the mutas are actually very low in number. It's just those initial 6, and you can see that Shin isn't fully overreacting. I say that he just made a bunch of Hydras on the back end though, so he is getting a lot of those. They will still be good DPS overall if they can stay alive in the back line. Then the Hydras are going to be really nice to dish out that damage. But you can see
behind this, I mean, Solar, he sees all the Hydras, and here we go. He's going into a heavy Baneling count. Obviously, the goal here for the Banelings is to connect with the Hydras. They will completely shut them down. And you can see here that Shin, he made 21. That's a lot of 26. 26 Hydras. It's very Hydra heavy.
And we'll see what actually.
And this army for Shin, it's so vulnerable to the Banelings.
Don't maybe want to take a completely straight.
Remember, it's 26 Hydras versus only 6 mutas. Like, it's a big overreaction.
Big connections on the Hydras, that could be huge. Right now, we see Shin starting to posture in the middle of the map. Doesn't want to run up this ramp. Not the best angle, but a huge run by that. Those Lings were sat in the top right of the map for like the last 5 minutes.
Shin gets into the main.
As the armies clash in the middle, they're going to get a lot of damage in the main base of Solar.
6 drones. Crippling Solar.
Queen right now, but they should start to get some drones here as the armies continue.
The Banelings, they're having a really hard time engaging.
Oh my god, they are going for a
Yeah, the Banelings are a non-factor. They got to get in. The Banelings.
One Hydra accidentally split over there, gets the information.
Oh my god.
He's going to try to be able to split these Hydras on the back end.
Do they connect? Barely. Just barely.
All going to get killed off. But the rest of the army from Shin is still really small because so much of it was also in those Lings doing the counterattack. So a nice move from Solar to bypass the Roaches, get into the meaty Hydras on the back end, and it's going to allow him.
Yeah, so nice thing run by here by Shin, but again, Shin, he just had so many Hydras that even despite the split, they still go down here to the Banelings. And Solar, he just might have too much. Like, sure, he might be crippled back at home, but he has so many Roaches, and he's snowballing out of control. He breaks through the main army. Solar's coming.
If Solar decides to kill them, and there's a big supply advantage here for Solar right now in the army, almost 40 as the hatchery falls here.
Yeah, there's 41 Roaches on the field for Solar, just sending it across the map, just 22 from Shin. And
that's also why we often talk about how Hydras don't really scale too well in Roach Ravager versus Roach Ravager. Hydras, they're okay supportively, but you don't want to overmake Hydras. They're just so flimsy, they're so fragile. Roach Ravager is just so much more robust. GG gets called, and Solar claims the series 3-0.
Very strong in the matchup as he's going to be going against Rogue following this.
Yeah, interesting games. Like, they looked very back and forth, but Solar just kept coming out on top in the end, having good engagements, good kind of game plans as well, I would say. I like the way he navigated this series. And he's looking very strong, but Rogue is a whole other beast.
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
GG, well played. Again, a strong 3-0 score for Solar, but I will say that Shin had some really strong moments in Game 1 and here in Game 3 as well. Remember, winding it back, Shin, he went for a big all-in at the start of this game, and Solar was not ready for it. Like, he did scout it as it was coming, but his Roach one was so late. The problem, though, is that even though Solar's Roach one was late, even though Solar's pants were down, Shin didn't know. Like, Shin didn't know how vulnerable Solar was, and we spoke about it at the time. We tried to emphasize the fact that Shin chose not to push into the natural. He didn't know what was waiting for him. He didn't know that Solar had nothing. Solar, he had like 2 queens, maybe 3 queens. and like 2 spines that are halfway done. Like the spine calls were not complete, and this roach farm was not done either. Like again, like Solar, he was so exposed, so vulnerable when the all-in came, when he evacuated his third base, but Shin didn't check. He didn't check to see, he didn't risk it, I should say. So Shin, he didn't really have his heart in that all-in. He didn't take that risk, didn't take that chance to push up that ramp to see what was going on. He chose to play it safe, chose to just kill the hatchery, which meant that Solar was still very much so in that game. And he was able to get into his mutas, and we spoke about it likewise at the time, with Solar going to his muta play, Shin overmade Hydras. He overmade Hydras. Likewise, he also had a really nice Ling run by, but it also meant that his main arm was that much smaller as well. Less roaches, less robust. GG, well played. There were definitely opportunities there for Shin in both Game 1 and in Game 3 as well, but in the end, Solar will close it out. Does close it out. With that, we have 1 series left. 1 series left here tonight. It is going to be a best of 7, not a best of 5. Best of 7 here between Solar and Rogue. That's going to be coming up next after the break. The ZVZs will continue, and I'm sure Rogue was also watching these games. My takeaway is to just be more decisive. To like, because overall, like I enjoyed the builds of choice from Shin, even in game number 1 as well. But again, we've got to be a little bit more decisive. We've got to lock in, Pappy. Got to lock in. Got to double down. And Rogue is definitely one to do so. So we'll see you soon. We'll see you soon after the break. We'll see you in 5 minutes' time. welcome back everyone. Welcome back to the RSL, the Rival StarCraft League Season 6 Playoffs Day number 6. Again, the final day of the playoffs before BlizzCon. We're here, we're back with the lower bracket finals. The ZVZs, they continue here tonight into a best of 7, not a best of 5. Solar versus Rogue. Solar, he just took down SHIN 3-0. SHIN did have some good builds. He was able to hold his own against Solar, but as I mentioned at the time, did feel like SHIN was a little bit indecisive in those games, in game 3 and game 1 specifically, which did allow Solar to recover from otherwise a deficit that he did find himself with. So let's go, let's jump into our fresh series. Again, we'll see how Rogue will approach this matchup. We saw a lot of Rogue ZVZ last night, so did Solar. Bear that in mind. We expect aggression. We expect a lot of aggression here. We have our full series. We're jumping to game number 1, going to be loading in to Adatoni's Edge. Let's go. Let's go. Let us go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Now, coming into this here, I'm going to lean towards Rogue, but anyone could win. I mentioned this in the previous series as well. I don't really favor either Rogue, Solar, or SHIN too much over the other. They're all very close in skill. They all trade. They all go back and forth. Already here we see a deviation. Rogue opening up hatch first. Solar does open up pool first instead. So we are mixing up our openers a little bit here. Solo's going for a safer start. Because Solo is going for a pool first, this means he's going pool hatch gas. Because Solo's gas is so late, Solar should be playing 2 base. He should be stuck on 2 bases here. What is the reasoning for this? Because Solar's gas is so delayed, it means that his link speed will be very delayed as well, which means he won't be able to defend his 3rd base. So, and he'll also have late banelings. As you can see, I mean, the observer's pointing it out. So we'll see if that rings true, if Solar does play 2 base or not.
Yeah, I love the way this map looks, in all seriousness.
Oh, sorry, I think
All the map makers
my
are
apologies.
like the coolest little doodads and stuff.
If you're in the chat, if you place your predictions, do it again. I accidentally closed it.
Just kind of keep seeing the same things.
I did accidentally close the predictions, so Gamba again, Baby Gamba again. Best of luck, best of luck.
The map editor is crazy for StarCraft. Did you start on Warcraft 3? Was that your first game?
I did play Broodor.
You did play? Did you use the map editor back then?
I did, yeah. I would literally. That's my.
I don't mind ZVZ at the very top level, like Dark, Several Rainer sort of thing. I can see why it might be disliked by some, if not most. I said this about TVT. I'll say it about ZVZ. I feel like a lot of people's perception of ZVZ has been formed in years gone by. Back in the day, especially European ZVZ was known for just Roach versus Roach, which was very dull. Like, ZVZ would be very dull, especially in the European region, but it'd be hyper aggressive in the Korean region, and then that eventually translated to European ZVZ as well. So over the past 3-4 years, like, ZVZ is hyper aggressive, and you rarely get like these slow like Roach versus Roach battles where you just have these like big clumps of roaches and they just kind of like bash their heads in the center, and you slowly just open up hatch gas pool and you just drone up and you just saturate. That is not really the case anymore, and it hasn't been for a long time. It's like with TVT. Like, TVT has had a reputation that was formed years ago as well, where it used to be like siege lines, like these big siege lines against each other and a very slow encroachment. That hasn't been the case for many years as well, but it's just a stereotype that was built up a long time ago. And that's kind of what people think of when they think of the matchup, even if it isn't really applicable to like the current meta, or hasn't been applicable to the current meta in a long time. Like, that's where that comes from. Meanwhile, Solo's going for a Bane Bust, by the way. Solo's going for a Bane Bust, and Rogue is playing 2 base. Let's go.
Yeah, very big divergence here from Rogue. Going to be going for, very fast tech. Something that we maybe.
So Rogue is skipping link speed and going into 2 base Roach. Meanwhile, Solo's going for a bust. Oh, he drones.
Skipping link speed, going really fast in the 2 base Roach speed.
Solo's in trouble.
Stuff like that. He's going for all 4 gases as well, so this could be one of those plays where he makes it look like he's
basically Rogue is being hyper greedy on 2 bases, and Solar, he made a massive amount of Ling Bane, which you're seeing here, and if Solar does not accomplishes nothing with it, then Solar falls behind, right? Solar, he's down in workers, he's down in economy, he invested into the early nest, into these Banelings, into these Lings, and he achieves no damage.
I mean, I think Rogue has basically taken every protocol necessary to make it physically, as long as Rogue doesn't misclick, it's physically impossible to get in there and do any damage.
Yeah, so it's going to be on Solar to kind of figure out what's going on, and it's actually going to be a fast
it's a virtual
coming out of Rogue, so that's where that gas is going to be going. Also for way more roaches, so it will be a full-on roach aggression coming out of him. Lots of different ways that he could have possibly taken this build, but this is the one that he's chosen for this particular game. The Overlord going to try to...
This could have been 2-base Muta, could have been 2-base Roach into an expand, could have been a 2-base Roach all in with Roach Speed, or a 2-base Roach all in with Nidus play. And we have the answer, Nidus.
Will not actually get to the natural to see that very important information of the Nidus. He doesn't see the lair, but I'm pretty sure Solar can assume what's going on. You would not be sitting on 2 bases and not making a lair. Like, there's nothing else you could be doing, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, gets a kill.
He's just going to try to win with less. Yeah, did he actually kill that? He killed a hatchery. Wow.
That was interesting.
That's crazy, actually. Okay, I was about to say I think this is going to be up in the front. I was wrong. It's going to be in the main over here. Right
the Mippies. They're watching Nova.
So he's going to come in now with the Roach.
And here comes the 2-base Roach all in. Solar, he is making Roaches as we speak, but is it going to be in time?
I mean, this
Soul's in trouble.
Rough. Yeah, he's not able to even get up the ramp.
Rogue, he gets up the ramp.
Drops the queen immediately.
He gets up the ramp.
At the ramp. If he can angle it right, yeah, you can really
my god.
Anybody trying to come up here, and that's exactly what's going to happen. The drones are pulled a little bit.
Yeah, desperation out of Solar. He pulls the boys. Again, this ramp is brutal, and Solar's pushing into a concave, and Rogue snowballs out of control. He snowballs out of control. We spoke about decisiveness and how Shin was lacking some of that decisiveness in his series. We're seeing it here out of Rogue. GG gets called, and Rogue takes game number 1.
Decisive attack with that Nidus Swarm, completely unexpected.
The Ewoks didn't even turn their head, too.
That's true.
They were watching the RSL. They were watching what happened right there on the screen. Not much else to say about that game.
Yeah, that's just a good build from Rogue, man. So just didn't really put the pieces together.
I like your knowledge bomb about, if you're on 2 base, you've got to be making a layer, right?
Yeah,
it's like, what are you... He's just going to go for Roaches with less. Like,
he's just going to not have Roach speed. He's going to have 50 Roaches with no upgrades on them.
I'm going to try to do the same thing, but not have upgrades. See if that works.
GG well played. Like, they're both kind of like, saying like, oh, like Solar didn't realize what was going on. Remember that there were 2 things that happened in this game. It is not just like a vacuum of Rogue went for an all-in and executed the all-in. That's not true. Rogue went for his 2-base all-in. What was Solar doing? He was going for a Bane Bust. Like, very, very often, our casters here just kind of like gloss over what the other player was doing and how it all kind of influenced and impacted the game. But remember, Solar was going for a Bane Bust, and then he fell behind. He fell behind because the Bane Bust achieved 0 damage. He showed up with all this Ling Bane, and there was nothing to do. That could have been drones, that could have been tech, that could have been anything else, but it was stuck on Ling Bane, achieved no damage. Solar fell behind. Because at Solar he felt pressure to drone, to catch up, to saturate, and he was playing from behind because he had spent all those resources, and then you had Rogue capitalizing on that by going also on his own 2-base all-in. It's possible that even Rogue decided to go for the Nidus Swarm when he saw the big investment of Ling Bane, seeing that like, oh, you just wasted your money here, let me punish you. It's possible that that impacted some of the decision making of Rogue as well. But GG. GG well played. With that, we're now getting to game number 2. Going to be loading into Celestial Enclave.
It's kind of like going from mutas into roaches, really. Guys, we're going to go to Celestial Enclave for game number 2. Let's get into it.
Blah. Yo, this is the intro that shows the movie. Yeah. What are they plotting? What are they planning down there? What have they done? Again, I never knew the movie was down there on Celestial.
All right, let's get into it.
It's great.
Game 2's here. Rogue with a very clean, very easy win.
Solar.
To take the
Look at him.
thing. For game 1.
11
game,
pool.
2 here. It's going to be a 10 pool.
Nope. That was an 11 pool.
Now that's something spicy. I mean, Solar loves to bring out some aggression.
I like how we immediately lock into what Solar's doing, like, because we noticed that he wasn't spending his money. It was like, 11 pool. Then he's like 10 pool. Then no. We count one more at back. We count one more.
Early pool pools himself to be.
So a 10 pool obviously is an earlier spawning pool without any gases. An 11 pool leads into an 11-11, which is 11 spawning pool into a gas geyser as well. So this is an important distinction. This is why this is not a 10 pool. This is more committed, more aggressive with Ling speed, potentially banelings as well. This is much more committed.
Maybe there's less, or maybe there's more. I don't know. You know, when you change the worker count, everything kind of is different about how, you know, how things
So not a 10 pool.
pan out. But we still don't have a pool right now, and Lings are about to hatch here for Solar. He'll probably, if I understand the way that
Hatch
this plays
pool.
out now, you always go for the
This is relatively safe out of Rogue. This is going hatch pool, not hatch gas pool. So relatively safe out of Rogue.
we saw, you know, the player basically elect.
As you can see here, Solar, he's not going Ling speed, he's going for the Bane bust, he's going for the early Bane nest, and the Lings have been spotted. Now, the other thing here is that Solar, he wants Rogue to think it's a 10 pool. Remember, against a 10 pool, what do? You pull the boys. You typically pull the boys against a 10 pool to defend, to protect your natural, and you fight for your natural. So Rogue wants Rogue to think it's a 10 pool, wants him to pull the boys, hide 2 Banelings, and then bam, strike with his Banelings and punish the commitment there from Rogue.
If he was paying any attention, Rogue would definitely be noting that there was a 10 pool, and
It's not a 10.
It wasn't the full-on aggressive type, and so this time Solar might be trying to switch it up, trying to mind game him a little bit.
Yeah, oh,
We
he's,
will
did you see?
those Banelings?
He saw.
So Rogue realizing
That shouldn't have happened. He saw the Banelings, now Rogue knows.
He should have gone down and not shown that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so the Banelings are going to come in here. He's going to move in. I don't know why these drones are down here.
Oh my God.
Ooh, Baneling goes off.
That is
5 drones already going to be going down. This is good. We need more. Like Solar, he needs more damage. He'll kill the expansion.
From Rogue, considering that the hatchery was more likely to
Yeah.
fall anyways. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was a strange move. Just donating those drones right there.
Yeah, it does go down, and with that, Solar's pushing into the main base. Decent Baneling connection on 3 Zerglings. The Queen is going to get surrounded. Surrounds the Queen.
Perfect surround
And Solar needs more.
on the Queen.
Solar's still
The drones
down.
and Lings come in and then
Save the Baneling.
You gotta be careful that the Bane's at about half health. That's enough.
Oh
where
my
the Queen
God.
Can snipe it from a distance. Oh, nicely done.
Yeah, nice defense at the top there for Rogue. So the Queen was
And Rogue
in
holds.
position between
Rogue, he does hold on. He's up in workers. He's down to base.
Killed off, and then it does snipe that Baneling from downtown. So
And this was some okay damage here from Solar. We'll see how we can leverage it.
A bit unfortunate.
Rogue is alive.
However, still going to be able to recover and able to defend there from Solar. But it's going to basically even things up on the workers for now. But then Solar's going to be able to pull ahead, of course, because he's been droning behind it. He's going to have his hatchery done very early compared to Rogue. And so now Rogue has to kind of figure out how he wants to navigate this game, because he doesn't have a natural start until
So-
literally just now. Solar's is totally finished. He's going to be able to eclipse him in the worker account pretty soon here.
Something really important about this map. We spoke about this actually at the beginning of the broadcast. If you were here yesterday, you would know we casted on Celestial Enclave between Cyril and Rogue, and that was the game where we had a hyper long late game, if you recall. That was on Celestial, and we spoke about it briefly at the beginning of this broadcast about how this map is very unique because it is more prone to longer games and more prone to cut the map in half because of the pocket expansion, right? There's a pocket base. Meanwhile, Rogue, before I get ahead of myself, he does poke in. He's forcing a reaction. He's delaying some of the mining. Nice moves here by Rogue. Rogue, he shouldn't deal any critical damage here, but he's just poking, prodding, and that is an insanely fast lair in the grand scheme of things before 2-base saturation. Now, what I was going to say is that the chances of Rogue turtling and recovering here is higher than on other maps because the map is long rush distance by ground, and you have a really secure third base as well. So if there were any map for Rogue to recover on, it would be this map, but that's why I do like that Solar's rushing into a fast lair. It's a very, very fast layer here, before, like on 1-base saturation. This looks like Mutaplay, and which would be a really good way to just keep Rogue pinned back and to harass and to just chip away at Rogue.
He can definitely solidify that. Zergling going to try to scout this information from Solar, seeing whatever he can see. Only sees the natural, isn't able to get up into the main base as the Queen was there and some of the other units. So not the greatest amount of information gained.
So again, Rogue is getting a faster third base, faster compared to Solar. But what's going to be done with the lair? That's what's important. Meanwhile, Rogue knows that there's a lair coming, and Rogue is fully walling off. As I mentioned, if there's any map to turtle on, it's this map.
Because it is so bare, there's not really many resources there.
Yeah, but I think it makes sense for Rogue to play this while in a deficit. I wonder if this impacts the whole idea of whether or not you want to go 10 pull on this map at all.
It was not a 10
You know what I
pull.
mean? It feels like, you know, you're able to squeeze them a little bit more easily
damn
they
it.
have to expand outwardly, right? Where like if you get in a bad spot, you can kind of just like turtle back in your base. That's a very different story.
Yep. It's going to be a fast Muta switch coming in from Solar, so that's where all of his tech and gas is going to be heading. Sitting on 2 bases for now, so he's going to be going into that quite quickly. Whereas Rogue is going in for the Roaches, and he's also getting a Baneling Nest to make sure he's nice and safe on the ground. So we'll see how aggressive he wants to be. 'Cause he is
That Baneling Nest is a normal. Rogue, he's making Roaches. Is he going for an all-in? I assumed that he was going to turtle up. But the Baneling Nest is crazy. There should not be a nest.
He's gonna get in the main.
He does see
He
that
sees
Roach
Roaches.
being morphed in. He sees
He's
not
up.
too many
Does he see the
drones
nest?
overall just yet from the natural and
Does he?
combined. So I think, yeah, Solar is putting down a spine crawler. He kind of realizes just how
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, so Rogue is all in. Rogue is all in. The pocket expansion is just for lava. Just for lava. So Rogue, he's committing across the map. He denies one of the spine crawlers already. He's going for the other spine. He gets both. Oh my god. 0 spines.
Spines, and they're very meaty. They take a long
Solar,
time
he has
to kill.
nothing.
The Mutas
He
are
has no
about to
roaches.
hatch, but right now,
Here comes
the
Rogue.
Roaches are gonna hit. Oh, seem to be on move command for a second.
Rogue is already here.
Okay, they're gonna get in here and they're gonna start to chip away. And
Yeah, he's diving on the queens. Mass around.
Queens both killed
Oh
off
my
right at the
god.
start as well. That's a large part of the army. It's basically only the Mutas on the defense right now.
And Rogue with the mind games here. Really cool, really smart. We'll get into it here as Lings, they do bust into the mineral line. Roaches, they move in as well. Mutas will eventually clean everything up. But again, drones are going down.
Take quite a while to kill off all these Roaches.
Yeah, he's gonna come in here. He's already killed 11 drones. 13 now have gone down. Again, this is a 2-base Zerg here. The natural's still not safe. He's
Yeah, Rogue,
basically
he just checked for the
split
third.
lanes around here.
There is no
What
third
you're doing
base.
is you're trying to just stretch
15.
out the amount of time that Solar's going to defend. Because behind this, Rogue has more drones. He actually has more bases. Don't forget.
Yeah, so behind this, Rogue, he's up in base, he's up in workers, up in economy, he's up in upgrades, he's getting 1-1. Remember, Solar doesn't have an Eva chamber. Solar, he has no chambers, he has no Roach Warren, he only has Ling Muta. And Solar's going for a counterattack.
Just started one. I think it was in the. I didn't see which base it was. Sorry. But you know, I think he forced enough time in there. Solar decided instead to go kill overlords.
Yeah, I think he kind of assumed that there would be spore crawlers up in time. There was so much reaction time.
Yeah, Mutas, now they get across the map, they deny one of the spores.
Guaranteed damage of these overlords that are sitting on his side of the map, realizing that he's going to be able to at least kill those.
And Solar's,
force
he's not
some
droning.
reaction in that
You can
way.
see Solar's not droning, he's not saturating, Solar, he's all in.
Crawlers would be ready anyway, so
If Rogue
yeah,
over drones, he'll be in trouble, but he's only made 9
Solar
drones.
decides
He has
to
supply
launch
block though.
overlords, and he does survive, of
Uh-oh.
course, the attack. And his
Rogue is
damage
droning.
pretty large.
Now is not the time. Rogue, he's droning. He's being eclipsed in supply. Solar's going in. This is it. This is it.
Attack that he did just earlier.
The pants are down for Rogue. Everyone's pants are down.
He went right by there and decided to traumatize.
Yeah, everyone's pants are down here as we do get a transfuse, but the queens are going down one after the other. Again, Rogue, he was so greedy. So greedy.
The Lings are now going to dive up into the midi base.
Yeah, it looks like there's really nothing here for Rogue to defend. The Mutas as well are going to be very difficult. There are spore crawlers, though,
Yeah,
in the mineral lines.
15 drone kills. I don't think the cast has noticed, but again, as we mentioned, like, Rogue, he was being very greedy. He was droning up too much. Didn't realize the all-in was coming.
Just taking hits at each other back and forth, really able to equalize the drone count every single time. This this worker income graph just looks kind of ridiculous. Is going on a seesaw adventure over here as the third base does start to get thrown down.
I guess Solar's not
So if he
done.
can keep that alive, that's going to be really good.
He's
Of
not
course, the
done.
whole base
Oh my god.
compared to
Nice target
Rogue's,
firing.
The Baneling's trying to deep dive into
Very
the
nice
natural
positioning.
mineral line here.
Jesus.
They're going to just be able to focus down some of those queens and then have to get on out of there.
That was insane.
Yeah, so he gets out, and that pulls the worker count a lot closer together. So I would say this is a big success. The Muta count's still high enough. You got to respect that. He's going to back up now. And we're going to have another Ling counter attack come out here.
Yeah, this is just they're just going back and forth across the map. One player overextends.
So the game is slowing down. The game is slowing down. The game is stabilizing. Rogue is droning. Solar is expanding as well. Solar is going to be with Ling Bane Muta, of course. Rogue, he went for +1 melee, so it looks like he wants to go in that similar direction, actually. Otherwise, why get melee?
Continuing to deny the economy from Solar.
True.
Of course, he still has
Denies
his
the third.
base set
Massive
up, even
pickup.
though it is a smaller base, it is still extra income going his
Can
way.
you do it again? No.
And the Mutas are basically being forced to stay on defensive watch. They're not able to continue going across the map and trying to kill drones or overlords, so that's a great win for Rogue.
this is it's interesting how back and forth this has truly been. We have very different techs coming out now. Rogues,
But yeah, winding it back, I loved the decision making out of Rogue. Remember how we started this? How Solar, he was doing a lot of damage, and Solar's response after the initial 11 pool was to go for the go for one base muta, and the goal there was to contain and to try to chip away at Rogue because he expected Rogue to be hyper greedy. Rogue did get a third, but Rogue didn't drone. Instead he went for his own Ling Roach all in, so we caught Solar with his pants down instead, because Solar was cutting corners to go into muta play. So we had a very intense back and forth. Rogue took a lead, and then Solar counterattack. Rogue was being too greedy, he was over droning. So both players have been caught with their pants down already in this one game, to the point where now we're kind of stabilizing. I say kind of stabilizing because I'm curious to see where Rogue takes us. Rogue, he has yet to throw down a Spire or a Hydra Den. He's getting a pit. He's getting a Infestation Pit. It looks like he's going Ling, Queen, Infestor.
One thing about mutas, they can go anywhere they want, right? So you have to basically be ready to defend everywhere. That being said, Rogue didn't take too much abuse the last couple times the mutas came in. He was actually pretty perfect about pulling drones. He's going to hit this base down here now, and again, this is another forced cancel, another little victory.
Yeah, we'll lose the fourth base.
Down here, but
nice pick up here by Solar.
Yeah, it looks like Rogue's going to be trying to maybe
the Lings are clashing across the map
a little bit here to make sure he can get a very strong army overall and solidify these 4 bases. There's a
massive Baneling connections. Massive connections.
The crazy connections that they're expecting, but the Lings will be able to.
No, they connected very well with Lings, just not drones.
6 of them in total getting killed off is a nice move, continuing to try to equalize this worker count, keeping it as low as possible since Rogue is trying to power up into the Hive tech as well. First Infestors are going to start hitting the field as he really starts to make sure he can get this anti-muta army set up.
Yeah, he's still developing that. We're having Infestors starting to hatch here. And what Solar needs to do is basically take advantage of this window of time he has, right? When you have
and Rogue, he's so persistent with these Ling counterattacks. You see, time and time again, the Lings, they just keep coming in, and these are 1-1 Zerglings. They just keep coming in, they just keep picking up more bases. They're being so annoying.
Either way, the hatch is gone, right? So that he succeeds there. So yeah, no kill. It was a forced cancel. But yeah, I mean, basically Solar needs to try to explode and be bigger before this push actually comes. We've got Hive Tech coming here now too.
Yeah, a lot of Banelings just exploded off screen right there. I'm not quite sure whose those were, but
interesting trade right it was there. Baneling versus Baneling.
Trying to get some
they ran into each other.
How many hatcheries that Solar is on, seeing what the drone count is and whatnot. You might try to hide those for later. Could try to morph in a couple of Banelings if Solar is not really paying attention.
Yeah, Solar's paying attention.
Damage, but it looks like he sent a few Lings over there, so he knows of that possibility. And the mutas will come on.
And again, this is my concern. No Hydra Den. No Hydra. So the muta cloud is overwhelming. Getting 1, 2 queens, getting a Spore Crawler. We are heavily reliant on these fungal growths. Without them, these mutas, they just wreak havoc. Lands 1 fungal.
Would be nice, but a good fungal, but nothing really to follow it up unless
but again, where's the follow-up?
A third one could potentially hit them.
Where's the follow-up?
The mutas those are queens. I thought they were infested.
Oh my god.
I was like, why is he not going to shoot another
yeah,
one?
No.
This is insane.
Again, Rogue, he chose not to get a Hydra Den. He chose not to take up, and he will lose every queen. He only had 6. It was only 6 queens.
Back to back. Yeah,
not enough.
Really chain down and do that damage. Solar doing so much right now, and continuing to do so.
Yeah, the main base is getting ransacked. The Infestation Pit almost getting killed off. The gas is getting denied. Is also going to be
really takes out the final queen.
Yeah, if there's nothing to actually follow up the fungals, then the mutas are still going to stay alive. You need a lot of fungals to actually kill mutas 100-0. So there's nothing else on the ground to be able to deal with this. A couple more rally Infestors getting sniped as well. Rogue not really paying attention. One fungal is going to go off, but again, there's nothing to deal with them afterwards. The Vipers have spawned to try and deal some parasitic bombs onto those, but there's not really anything there. A couple of counter damage Lings getting sent across as well to try and kill some of these drones. Will keep the economy of Solar in check. He's only on 44 drones, which is pretty good for Rogue's case, that is. But the army supply of Solar is really large.
Yeah, here the soup is not lying. Solar, he has a critical mass of mutas. Again, Rogue was just being too greedy. He was just being so greedy. Basically, what was Rogue answer to the mass muta? He was trying to go minimal queens, minimal spores into Infestor Viper, into just pure spellcasters. And technically, like if you land a couple of fungals and land a parabomb like you're seeing here, like you can kill a cloud of mutas, that's true, but it is so risky to rely purely on spellcasters to try to do that, and it takes a long time to get into your hive. The hive wasn't ready. The hive was not ready. It was just really greedy. It was really greedy there from Rogue. GG gets called. He tried to cut too many corners, and Solar ties up the series 1-1.
Nothing's happening.
Nothing.
Fast.
He can't
Enough.
attack.
GG. Great game.
Yeah.
Well done.
That was very interesting. Back and forth. I felt like neither player really felt like they were controlling the game at any point. It felt like both players were just kind of seesawing back and forth.
Solo, he was very comfortable
going
in
their
that
way, but
later
it feels
third.
like the Muta player in general is able to always kind of come out with the lead in terms of the tempo, even though when things kind of start to get crazy, sure, you maybe will lose some drones because of a ground counter attack, but it feels like once that's over, you have such a such versatility with the Mutas that you can always kind of find ways to claw it back in your favor.
Yeah. Yeah, nicely done. So we're
I would disagree with this analysis here. It's happened a couple of times, and it looks like I think we come to a break. But it's happened a couple of times where if a player wins, like they focus on that player winning, on that player winning the game, but not necessarily on what happened and how they got there. Bearing in mind that I would say that Rogue was in a better position. He was in a better position. He was up in bases. He was up in workers. It's just that Rogue made the decision to cut corners and to skip Hydras and to skip his own Spire and to skip anti-air. He made that decision. It was just insane. It was insane greed. It was insane greed there out of Rogue. And it was insane that he thought he could get away with it. I think that's kind of what I was trying to emphasize. It's insane he thought that he could get away with it against Solar. So very bold move there by Rogue. And with that, he gets punished for it. Otherwise, I feel like Rogue was in a better position, at least economically, with his bases, larva, workers, to be able to outscale Solar. But again, he just chose to cut those corners and was punished for it. GG well played. With that, we are now getting into our next game. Sorry, we're going to be going to a break. We're going to be going to a short break. When we come back, we'll have game number 3 of this best of 7. We'll see you soon after the break. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the RSL, the Rival StarCraft League Season 6 Playoffs Day number 6. We're here in the lower bracket finals. We just wrapped up with the first 2 games, and so far we're tied up 1-1. A very intense back and forth here between Rogue and Solar in that last game, with both players having their own advantages, having their own disadvantages, of course. In the end, Solar was able to catch Rogue with his pants down, but he did catch him out with a mass meter. Rogue, of course, cutting a bunch of corners and being very greedy in response to Solar's play. Crazy he decided to cut those corners, I will say that. But regardless, we're now loading to game 3, going to be on Fear and Faith. So game 3 is Fear and Faith, game 4 is Exarch, game 5 is Old Sun Temple. 3 games in a row, 4 player spawn maps. RNG is a factor here, straight up. Based on the spawn locations, this can either favor aggression or favor more defensive play. Let's go. Oh, let's go the concrete jungle.
Alright, we are loaded into Fear and Faith, game number 3 of this best of 7. We've got Solar in the bottom left,
10 pull,
and in the top right, it is
we be 10 pulling.
The blue Zerg.
He's crazy.
And, oh my god, it's
Diagonal spawns, by the way, that's unlucky.
Right.
Doesn't want to retire this build just yet. Found success with it last game, of course. It wasn't necessarily the 10 pull that maybe won him outright, but it definitely started out the tempo for him.
It's not true. Last game was an 11 pull. That's why I went with gas. God damn it. So once again, let's get into the game. So they're making reference to last game, which is incorrect. Last game was an 11 pull, which led into an early gas geyser. This time it's a 10 pull. What is a 10 pull? A 10 pull is gas less. So different builds entirely. With this gasless build, this is not an all-in, but you can see that Solar, he's sending out all the drones to scout, to look for his opponent. You do expand behind this, you saturate behind this as well. It is just unfortunate, though, that we have cross spawns, which does mean that Rogue has more time to react, more time to respond, more time to defend.
Just GG because you're attacking the wrong place. So good to get that confirmation. Obviously, the Overlord going to the top left spawn as well. And by the process of elimination, he will know that Rogue is in the top right.
Yes, he won't be seeing any Overlord coming his way from
But that's why you can see the Souls expanding with this, not getting into a Baneling Nest, because it's just different builds. Again, with the 10 pull, you expand.
There's not going to be another early pull coming his way either, so those lings are getting sent right across spawn. So a nice little deduction there from Solar. Well thought out build for the map, so he will get across the map nice and quickly. We'll see.
From here, Rogue should pull the boys to defend, to hold.
Suicide 5 drones in the natural again. What did you think about that play last game? That was interesting.
Okay, I was actually getting a drink and I was half watching, but it looked like he was maybe going to try and fight with drones, but then you realized what it was. I'm not sure. Here we go anyway. The lings are hitting the hatchery. It is going to finish. The question is, will he actually pull the drones now or not?
He should. He should not lose this base.
He's going to let this die and play from one base.
We're going to pull the...
So
what?
interesting. I know Lambo's
the fake out.
Basically save it if you do the right response, but yeah, he's going to just let this die, play from one base. He does have more drones. He's up 7 drones.
So basically, because last game Solo went for the 11 pull and went for hidden Banelings, and that caught Rogue with his pants down, here Rogue decides to just give up on the expansion entirely, afraid that there would be Banelings. Otherwise, you just pull the boys, you just save it. You just save the base by pulling the boys, you're fine. So this is a lot of damage that shouldn't have happened here. So Solo does take a lead.
Those lings away as the Queen does spawn and force the Zerglings away for now. It looks like they're just going to kind of juke around at the bottom as well. Solar, of course, wants to delay this natural from being placed down.
Behind this Reliever Chamber, plus 1 carapace.
But it looks like Rogue will be able to force those lings away just in time, and then the hatchery can play.
Behind this, because Solar went gasless, he should be walling off on 2 bases.
He's staying on 1 base. And obviously you can't mine from the natural, so having any more drones than 19 doesn't do you anything. So he's going into a quick Evo. So he can keep mining the gas, not just have saturation on minerals, and then use that gas to get a quick upgrade here, a quick carapace. And that's going to be really big in the early Zergling wars, and his speed is almost done here, so Solar's got to be so careful with these lings. I feel like he needs to go home right now.
Yeah, this is going to be really risky.
Yeah, Solar, he sticks around too long. This was a big blunder from Solar.
Rogue not even going to bother chasing those. Oh, never mind. He is going to bother chasing them. He just sent one across to get the scouting information. Then he's going to actually deal with the other ones back.
As these Lings, they are going to be chased down. Behind the Soul is going to be fully rolling off on 2 bases, which is standard, which is what we expect. Rogue does not scout the main. Now, because of the early carapace, this does mean that Rogue does have a timing available where he can try to make use of this with Roach play, for example. But again, Solar should not be pushing anytime soon. He should be safe on 2 bases.
I feel like
I do prefer still Soul's position.
And see the hatchery finished and then just getting killed immediately and kind of question mark that and be like, well, why wouldn't you just cancel it as the defending player? Is the idea that you want to get those couple extra larva spawns so you can get a few extra Zerglings out? Is that the general play there?
Yeah, remember the
yeah,
larva
I mean,
was
if you
denied.
cancel it, then you kind of give them the win without them having to work for it, right?
Okay.
Then they can go into the main right away and start to kill your drones and your Lings. So them kind of chewing on that for a while gives you time to get your Queen out, get your Lings out, get out the defense that you need. Obviously, they can't let it finish because then they don't have an advantage anymore because you have more workers and the 2 bases. Whereas the Templar has less workers, but he has his natural finished. And if he can get the kill, then things kind of equalize that way. But yeah, we do see the carapace upgrade almost finished here for Rogue.
Again, they keep framing things like it's equalized, but like Solar's in a better position. Like there's a reason why Solar has more drones, right? He has more drones, he has better saturation. The +1 carapace from Rogue is not going to hit any kind of timing. Solar is safe. He's safe. Building up.
Rogue is going for the faster 3rd base. We'll be getting the Roach Warrant a little bit later. But Solar's going to start pumping out a few of those Roaches right now as Rogue continues to try and test that front wall a little bit.
Now, from here, Solar should be expanding. He is making some safety Roaches. He has to make a choice. Either Solar goes into a 2-base all-in, or he expands. One or the other.
If he can delay long enough, if this 2-base push does kind of formulate a little bit, it seems like Rogue might be able to find some opportunity, of course, to get those upgrades finished and come out ahead. But
There's
there's still
scouts.
going to be a decent window there where Rogue is
Confirms the early +1 carapace.
with fewer units and less.
Solar now knows he's behind in
Roach
upgrades and he
finished as well.
expands.
Solar does want to pull the trigger aggressively.
Yep, so they're going to try to take his own 3rd. There's still some Lings remaining from the early game, though. They're going to try and
Oh no, they cancel!
force a
Oh my
cancel here.
god.
They will get it. Can they get the drone as well? They can. Nice pick off there by Rogue. So he's up 6 workers, and his 3rd base is quicker. But Solar's Roach production has really started to ramp up here. He is not making drones. He has
not
nowhere to
droning.
send them. He's already on 2-base saturation.
He is 2-base all-in.
So he's just going to have a big army that he can move across the map in the near future.
So right now, Solar should be droning. He should be droning, saturating if he were to get into a longer game. He is still making purely Roaches. He's down 10 workers. Solar is going for an all-in. He will be hitting with +1 range. I will say there's going to be a window in time where Rogue has 1-1 over 1-0. So Rogue does still have better upgrades, but Solar has the bigger army. And that might be enough to overwhelm.
Kill a Queen. That would be kind of crazy if it did. But this, of course,
But here comes Solar.
Information to know if there are any
This
more
is it.
drones getting sent over
It's
to
time.
this 3rd base or not. Looks like there will be on the back end. But
Solar
there's still
drones
a
up behind
large
this,
amount
but
of
he
Roaches
is still
coming
committed.
Rogue's way. He's going to need to defend.
He wants the
He's going
Ravagers.
to dive on these Ravagers to start the fight. They're so expensive. Great choice there. Gets 2 of them immediately. Trying to get the 3rd, but good micro by Rogue makes them waste so much DPS,
This is
running all the way to the
bold.
main, whilst more of his Roaches flood out and his Roach speed finishes. Defender's advantage going to be big here, and I think Rogue has held that rather comfortably. In
Solar, he killed all 3 Ravagers, but he threw away so many Roaches as a result.
Only 2 fall here. I'd say that was a successful defense.
This is not worth it.
Yeah, very nice. He's going to Rogue, that is, be down a few drones here.
Yeah, big overextension from Solar, and now he's triggering a counterattack. Triggering counterattack. And behind this Solar, he was droning up. He did not commit. We spoke with this earlier, but again, Rogue, he had the better upgrades as well.
So should this game go a little bit
Solar's in trouble.
Solar is actually going to be the one that's going to find himself ahead in the upgrades. And of course, if you can find those advantages in a mirror matchup, it's going to be extremely good for that player.
It's going to be a tough hold for Solar.
Then, Rogue, still with a very large army supply, going to try to swing things over to Solar's side of the map.
Yeah, attacking from 2 flanks here. Now it's his turn to dive on the Ravagers of Solar. Those begin
Yeah, with that, we get a full surround of the army of Solar. Solar, he's just going to crumble here. Solar, he has not enough left here. He's going to lose all the Queens, the Roaches, and he just can't keep up. Cannot keep up.
That's it. He's cut off from the 3rd in between the rally points here. I think Rogue may just be doing it.
Yeah, those extra upgrades might have been a bit of a waste of resources too early from Solar, as there's just not enough units to defend this push right now. There's still more Roaches just streamlining across the map from Rogue. He senses weakness and is just going to try to push the issue right here, getting a couple more drones behind it just to make sure his economy is still set up nicely to continue if he needs to. But there's just so many Roaches coming out right now, and Solar's barely trickling a few out. He's getting just barely above 100 supply, unable to keep it there, and Solar's looking a bit frustrated as Rogue will be able to go up in the series yet again.
I love that split off with the 3 Roaches there just to focus fire some drones down as well. So if Solar just keeps running away with his Roaches, he's at least getting economic damage, forces him to take the fight and closes out that game. Rogue now 2-1 up in the series.
Yeah, very nice defensive play that time from Rogue. Solar being the one to go for the 10 pool and then follow that up with the very dedicated Roach pressure. And yeah, Rogue was just on the defender's end the entire time, navigated the 10 pool situation very well, and then just kind of realized what was going on with that Roach attack as well. Just had enough units out defensively and was able to just swing it right across the map.
So I gotta push back against the narrative that they're telling here. I would say that Solar was in a better position. I feel like Rogue fell behind in the 10 pool defense. Rogue did not have a good defense against that, losing his hatchery and losing quite a lot early on. Solar was ahead economically, but what happened here, if you recall, I assumed that Solar was just going to go for a big 2-base all-in. Solar, he was down 10 workers, he had a massive army, he was pushing across the map with +1. What did Solar do? He droned. It's like, oh, so he had delayed his own economy in the mid game to go for a big push, but he wasn't too dedicated to it. He droned up behind it, which you can kind of get away with. But the problem was Solar's decision making to dive on the Ravagers. We spoke about it at the time. He decided to chase the Ravagers all the way into the main, and yes, he killed 3 Ravagers, but he lost so many Roaches, and that triggered the counterattack. That triggered the counterattack, especially because behind that he lost all his Roaches, and then he droned behind it as well. He was droning, so he didn't have anything to work with. Counterattack came, GG. So, yeah, Solar, we needed to either be a little bit more conservative with the army, engaging with the Ravagers, or double down and just go for the all-in. Like, one or the other. GG. Now we're getting to our next game. Going to be loading to game number 4.
Over. I'll talk first, it's fine. We're here in map number 4. Gemini just looked at me like, why aren't you talking? The game started already.
I was waiting to see if you would do it or not.
I did it. I'll do it.
That was good.
But yeah, we are here on Exarch. It's going to be cross spawns once again on one of the bigger maps.
True.
And we see there's no temple this game. That's the first thing we can say.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like Solar wants to run that 3 times in a row. That would be kind of crazy.
He's only done it once this series.
His top standard for this particular matchup, but yeah, he's going to be going back into something a little bit more standard here. So
SMH.
Doesn't want to try to go for that gamble yet again. Another 4-player map, 2 in a row here from this series.
It's going to be 3 in a row.
This time going to be still going for an earlier pool, but not the earliest possible one that he can go.
Oh, this is gas first.
Is this him still just favoring?
This is hyper aggressive.
Early game. Or does he want to swing this with that early gas as well?
Yeah, I mean, going gas before pool
gas
usually signifies you're going to do something aggressive. You're going to have your Ling speed much quicker than your opponent, your Bane nest much quicker, if that's what you decide to go into. So yeah, normally it's, 16 pool.
So this is a hyper aggressive build here by Solar, going gas pool hatch with this early Ling speed, and we can even go for a Bane bust as well.
Yeah, it looks like something aggressive to me. He's going to follow up with a hatchery here. Rogue on the flip side took his hatch, his gas, and his pool. And yeah, basically all eyes on Solar right now. What exactly is he going to use the early gas for here? And
Ling
just
speed.
How aggressive does he want to get? Is it going to be like a full send it all in, or some kind of pressure with, with drones behind it? We'll have to see what the game plan is.
It feels like a lot of Zergs in the ZVZ matchup, at least nowadays.
He stays in gas, bust, a Bane bust. It's going to be a Ling flood with a bust as well. So Solar is all in.
They're always kind of droning behind it. It doesn't seem like we have like these super crazy, just all out.
I say all in, like this is very dedicated, very dedicated.
In this tournament and some of the other ones, so yeah, we might be having this Baneling that's.
And if this fails to get damage done, then Soul's gonna be in a rough position.
Some of these other series where they try to be aggressive with the Ling Bane, they might try to kill the hatchery or just kind of even the drone count out, and then you just drone behind it and you're just expecting to be able to macro behind it as well. It's not like. It's not like Wings of Liberty or something where it's just like, oh, I'm going to Ling Bane all in. If it doesn't work, then I'm just going to leave the game because I don't know how to transition.
Yeah, it's not like my ladder games where every Zerg I play is like, I'm going to stop at 19 workers and make Ling Bane and try and hide it. And then morph Bane's out on the map, that kind of thing. We do see some Lings from Rogue making their way.
Rogue's going for the early Eva chamber into +1
Get a
carapace.
scout of what is going on as. Okay,
The flood is coming.
Hold on a minute. Solar is on 17 drones, making nothing but Lings.
Yeah,
so,
it's a Bane.
Yeah, it
It's
looks
an
like
all
he
in.
might just be sending it here. He's morphing some Banes. out on the map.
This
Not
was
sure where
telegraphed in the
two
very
are
beginning.
exactly.
It's telegraphed.
Doesn't get into the main, but he does see the
Sees lack
lack
of
of
workers.
drones there at the natural.
He saw nothing transferring either, which feels a little suspicious.
Now behind this, link speed is very delayed here for Rogue. Rogue chose to go carapace first. Rogue is in trouble. He has to evacuate. Can the Queens get away? Oh my god, they cannot. Yeah, the Queens get locked down. And Bailey's they smash in. Massive connections.
We'll be able to get one of them and the second one.
Gets one. Should get both Queens.
We'll be able to kill 6 workers, and there's still plenty more where that came from.
Yeah, he's morphing.
And Solo's done it. Solo at this point, he's done it. He breaks down every single Queen here. There's nothing left to defend. Solo, he snowballs out of control, breaks the main army. And Rogue was so greedy here. Going carapace before Link speed. Oh my god.
That is a lot of Lings to get with that one.
The
Bane.
Bailing
That's an
connection.
excellent value coming out from Solar. Tries to get a couple more drones, but 11 is a great haul right there.
And behind this,
There's
Solar,
a
he's
couple
droning.
more coming across the map as well, as just a few drones are in the production tab for Solar. He's still sending a lot more Lings right now. Doesn't want to just end this pressure with that. He wants to continue this and see
And
if
the
he can
pressure?
end it really quickly.
Yeah, Rogue even losing an Overlord there. That's not a scout or anything. That's just a bad rally. And there's a drone going across the map. Bit of a nightmare situation here for Rogue. He finds himself on just the 15 workers to the 24 of Solar. Eventually he drones once the big damage is done. And Rogue in a desperate situation here.
Now again, Solo's not droning. He's not. He did drone behind it, but he's committing. He's doubling down. He's another bailing. Oh no! GG.
I was gonna say, maybe
GG, well played with that Solar. He will fight back. He will put another point on the board. Again, we have a back and forth here. We're tied up 2-2. Winding it back when it comes to the builds of choice here. Again, Rogue, he did decide to go Carapace first. He went Eva Chamber first. When I say first, I mean Eva Chamber after the after the spawning pool into Carapace before Ling Speed. So very, very greedy. As a result, he had less to defend, likewise delayed scouting as well. He was caught with his pants down. There is a chance here for, of course, Rogue to defend with this build if his Queens could pull back to the ramp. But remember, they were trying to. They didn't get to the ramp. If they get to the ramp, they both fully wall off. They seal the ramp off with the Queen's bodies, of course. And then you can get your Lings behind this and be able to defend. You can pull the boys and hold. But alas, the Queens got surrounded. The moment they got surrounded, GG. GG, well played. With that, we're tied 2-2, and we're getting ready for game number 5 to determine who will take a lead in the series. It looks like they're cutting to a break. Let's see. They usually don't show us like merch graphics unless they cut into a break.
It's all up in the air as to who is going to come out on top. We will find out shortly as we cut to a short break.
Yep,
Don't
there we
go
go.
anywhere.
We'll see you soon after the break. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the RSL, the Rival StarCraft League Season 6 Playoffs at day number 6 co-stream. We are mid-series here in the final series of the broadcast. Solar versus Rogue. We're tied up 2-2. We're tied up 2-2. It's been hyper-aggressive games, and we'll see if that aggression continues. We imagine it will be. We'll be continuing here as we get ready here for game number 5. We're going to be on the Old Sun Temple. Meanwhile, I do see in the chat, and Guru did, of course, respond. Does anyone understand what is this thing in London for? Is it after the BlizzCon finals? Is it related to the tournaments or just celebration? So BlizzCon finals is not. It's not really BlizzCon. It's RSL. The RSL finals of this tournament of season 6 are going to be at BlizzCon. So RSL at BlizzCon. RSL season 6 at BlizzCon. At the end of the year, based on the performances of all the players throughout the year of RSL, so RSL season 4, 5, and 6, the past 3 seasons of RSL, they all get seeded into a final end of year tournament. It's like an end of year event for RSL. Last year, it was in Korea. Last year, they had a big offline event in Korea, the RSL finals. The RSL 20, that was the 2025 finals. The 2026 finals are going to be the end of this year in the UK in London. So just to clarify that, so the RSL season 6 finals are going to be at BlizzCon. The RSL 2026 finals are going to be in London. Meanwhile, it looks like an 11 pool again. Yep, we're going for the 11 pool. Not a 10 pool.
Another early pool out of Solar. He's been very aggressive in this series.
Once again, with an 11 pool, I believe gas is taken. Eyes are on Solar. Yep, 12 gas. So, just for people watching, just so you're aware of the differences here and the nuances, the casters, they kept misnaming the build that we saw earlier in the broadcast as a 10 pool, and they even just did it here as well. They didn't misname this. This is not a 10 pool. This is an 11-12. That's what this is called. It's an 11-12. What does that mean? It means you get your pool at 11 supply and you get your gas at 12 supply. It's 11-12. With this, we're going for a Link Flood with a Bane Bust. It's going to be Banelings inside this. The goal here is that against a regular 10 pool, you can pull the boys and defend. Against an 11-12, if you pull the boys to defend, you may lose them to the hidden Banelings. The Banelings are a surprise factor here that are not known to hit with a 10 pool. So this is meant to look like a 10 pool, and then bam, you surprise them with Banelings. Meanwhile, pool first out of Rogue. Rogue is playing very safe. Rogue, very, very safe build. With a pool first, Rogue should defend against this, but it comes down to the unit control.
So he's sending his Lings across the map now. Now, he did start a hatch, so we'll see if he can actually save this or not. But yeah, the Banelings nest, I mean, this is a real commitment to damage here. We got to see how much or how little Rogue is going to be taking here.
Yeah, the Lings do make their way to the hatch right now, starting to work on.
Spine from the high ground, the boys are cool. Miss, oh, good. Rogue is going to fight for the low ground. Here come the Banelings.
Lings and drones will be able to defend this.
Banelings are coming. Rogue doesn't know. He doesn't see.
This is a good adjustment. He actually morphs a little bit further away.
He doesn't
so you don't
see.
necessarily know how all in this is. You might think the hatch is still salvageable. The
Oh my
spine
God.
is going to continue on. He doesn't cancel or anything like that. He's going to
Banelings
see the
revealed.
Lings. What?
Ooh. Okay, the Banes just move Commander
Oh,
around.
gets one.
One of them is set off. That's a very precious Bane.
One goes off on 3
Lings.
Lings.
Lings with the second one. The Queen comes down to help though. That's going to be very good.
Oh, another Baneling here on
Also,
2.
the spine gets a shot off
We got
from
one more
the high
Baneling
ground
left.
as well.
And can Solar kill the
Rogue's done
hatchery?
a really good job holding this. He is going to send the spine down here. That does make a little bit of
It's slow.
instability here while you're in between these moves. He needs to get that spine
He doesn't
planted
get
right
it.
away. Now the Lings are very low as well, so you can right-click them down.
Yeah, in the end, Rogue, he's holding on. Again, he will snipe the Baneling. The Queen, though, does go down.
Lings there to tank for that and get in the way.
And Soul's in a rough position. So he fails to kill the expansion. Soul's only on 1 base. Remember, this was an all-in.
Losing one of those and having to remake it is a big win. Solar will be expanding behind this himself, and the word count is 15 to 15. Solar already has 100 gas for his Ling speed, whereas Rogue has not mined any gas yet, so he's kind of ahead tech-wise. But just going to be a drone or 2 behind, and slightly behind mineral-wise, it looks like.
If we had the base. Are we going to mention the base?
Come down now. He's going to go for the Queen.
Yes, Rogue has a massive lead. Rogue has a massive lead. He's going to punish the Queen as well. Massive pick-off. Waste the Baneling as well. And Solar is in a very rough position. Winding it back here to have a look at the game state. Rogue is up in expansion. Rogue is heavily ahead in workers as well. But why did this occur? it's important to bear this in mind. It's not like, like Solar's build is bad. We got to push back against any kind of narrative like that. Rogue, he went pool first. We said at the beginning, Rogue went pool first. That's a very safe build. This was almost a build load to win. It still came down to unit control because of the Banelings, of course. Still came down to unit control, but Rogue did defend, and his build of choice helped him in that defense.
So let's see if that's what he does want to do.
Yeah, the 2 gases right now for Rogue. One in the main, one at the
And Rogue is looking very comfortable. He's up by 10 plus workers.
Just
Crazy.
how heavy the attacking is going to be here. He does get the Roach Warren over here onto the side to begin that wall in that you were talking about, Sturgeon.
Yeah, look at the difference in the worker count here. 12 extra workers for Rogue. He's
they're
navigated
noticing.
this early game so well and come out extremely ahead. He does have to spend a few drones on the, making that wall. And
He's going for a link flood. Again, Solar cannot macro. Solar cannot macro. Now, if Rogue doesn't wall, he may die. Show us the wall. Show us the natural.
Kick down the front door here.
Yeah, I mean, basically, Solar's concluded that like this is not a game that he wants to be in for much longer. If he can end it, he's going to have all these links come out and do damage. But all those links are making they aren't drones, which is only going to bury him further if he doesn't do fatal damage over here.
Show us the wall.
And that drone is a fake, by the way. He sent a drone.
There's 2 Evo chambers, I think.
I'm taking a third base.
I love resources.
I love macro.
Nah, he's fully walled off.
No, he's making nothing but lings and hiding them.
I was curious to see like what the wall was looking like, but it's very sturdy. It's very secure.
5 Banes at the third base location.
It's going to take so much to even break down the wall itself. Roach production's begun. It's too late. It's too late to kill. There's a secondary wall as well.
So he's going to plug that up. He's going to move the spine down here. The spine, while being moved, is not going to be doing damage, and there are so many lings up here in the front.
Yeah, I like that he strengthens the wall, but
Banelings are rolling. They will break down the queen. They break down the first building as well. Going for the Evo chamber, but there are roaches behind this. And Rogue is perfectly fine.
Tiny gap next to the queen.
No, that's airtight. He cannot get through there. And the attack is basically failed.
GG.
Good is what he said. No game. Good.
Good job. Good game. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, perfect hold by Rogue. Now, this is what we were talking about with the best of 7, right? That's a lot of games to get through. Rogue's made some very good adjustments for what he needs to do against that kind of pool. Now the question is going to be, as the series continues on, will Solar actually 10 pool?
So GG well played. And again, this was not a 10 pool. Like they don't know how to count, baby. They don't know how to. Oh my god, it's crazy. But GG well played with that. Rogue, he will take a lead in the series. We mentioned this earlier, how sometimes they kind of like mischaracterize things, and they're like, oh, like Rogue, he adjusted really well. It wasn't an adjustment out of Rogue. It was a build out of Rogue. Rogue on a 4-player spawn map, it's a big gamble. He doesn't know if it's cross spawns or not. He did take a risk. He chose to go for a pool first build, a very, very safe build here. I say that it's a misrepresentation if you say that he he adjusted his response. That's not true, because that's implying that he could have done the same thing earlier. That's not true, because earlier he went for a different build. He went hatch first, right? He went for different openers, different responses, different kind of setups. So it's important to bear that in mind. But regardless, again, a very safe build here by Rogue. He shuts down the aggression, takes the lead. Solar forced into an all-in because he could not macro out of it, and Rogue was miles ahead. Now we're loading into our next game. Going to be loading into Necropolis. Let's go.
Game 6. Now, if Rogue wins,
We're joining.
That's our last game. He'll go on to BlizzCon, and we're going to have a crazy good finals with that. You could not.
Yeah, as we're getting into this here, again, we're loading into game number 6. Rogue is on match point. Rogue is on match point. Rogue is 1 game away from claiming this series. Solar has to fight back here and now to force the ace match. Welcome to Necropolis. Necropolis is a 2-player spawn map, so there's no RNG factor when it comes to spawn locations, and you have a high ground natural. So defending on 2 bases is easier on this map. So going for like a 1 base all in, it's like you can't, it's not really advised to go for early game aggression here, like 10 pools or 11 12s. Not really advised. You can see that Rogue, despite that, pool first. just like last game, same opener. This is a very safe build. I would say this is going to put Rogue in a worse position because Solar's going hatch first. So there is a rock, paper, scissors when it comes to your build openings in ZVZ, and when it comes to this opener, Solar takes a lead.
Again, though, if Solar takes it, that's going to be hype too.
Yeah, it would be unexpected.
And if that happens, I'm going to just get ahead of it right now. I think Solar's the go. Okay, so that way I can take the credit if Solar takes it.
Yeah. You got to pick your goats.
Yeah.
It's like horse racing. You got to bet on the right goat.
So Solar's going to have the better economy. Now Rogue, by going pool first, what does this mean? This means that Rogue here most likely is going to open up 2 base and stay on 2 bases. What's the rationale for that? Because Rogue has no gas. Rogue has 0 gas. So typically, if you're in Rogue shoes, you skip link speed, you wall off on 2 bases, and you get into 2 base Roach, 2 base Lair, maybe even 2 base Muta. Like 2 base play though. If you try to get a 3rd base, you will lose your 3rd because you're going to be behind in link speed and behind in banelings because you just mathematically you just have less gas than your opponent, and your upgrades mathematically they're just going to be later. Like you're just behind in tech. But that's why we emphasize that again. Solar, when it comes to the openers, when it comes to the build, Solar is in a better position at the moment.
Openers, obviously.
Rogue was hoping that Solar would again go for an early pool, like a 10 pool or an 11 pool. Not this time.
So far indeed, yes.
No dirtbag openings this time around.
I would like to see one more kind of...
So Rogue gambles in an unfortunate matter here.
Yeah, we haven't had long games here, really. It's been a lot of really sharp timing attacks here that kind of drive the game to an end.
And all-ins?
So for now, we need to see what kind of techs are going to be. Is there going to be a 3rd base? Is it going to be like layer tech and turtling? And is there going to be
the Eva Chamber out of Solar? We spoke about this during the Shin series. He likes his +1 carapace.
And we do get kind of a crazy end game here.
Yeah, indeed. We do see Solar going for the Evo Chamber. Probably going to go into the fast carapace upgrade.
Layer first out of Rogue.
Oh my god, Rogue is going layer before Ling speed.
Yep, that's standard.
Before anything.
That's standard.
He's just spending his first gas on that layer.
And Solar's going to go for the armor upgrade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why we?
Interesting.
Why?
Well,
why?
This layer's going to finish super fast. Now the queens are coming out here.
Like how we're getting into openers that both like shocked. Like, oh, this is great. I mean, this is all standard so far. Again, we did mention earlier because Rogue, because it was opening up with a delayed gas, you don't get link speed. Link speed would be a waste. It is standard to skip link speed if you're in Rogue shoes. That's why he's going for 2 base Lair. This could be 2 base Muta or 2 base Roach. It could even be a 2 base Roach all in. So we still have yet to determine how we're playing 2 base and how we're playing with the Lair. But again, Rogue cannot get a 3rd. He's stuck on 2 bases. Solar has a better economy, faster 3rd expansion, and does have better upgrades as well with that faster +1 carapace. So we'll see what the Lair is going to be, what we're going to use the Lair for.
420, he's got 3 gases on the way. What are we going to see here? We've got +1 missiles. Not sure if that's a real upgrade or just a fake. Okay, there's going to be roach speed as well.
Yeah, the missile upgrade here. Okay, let's see.
So yeah, going to be a very, very fast roach speed. Oh, he's cancelled it.
Oh! He
cancelled
canceled.
roach speed.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Is he going to go Spire here?
And Rogue is supply block.
He doesn't have the gas right now. Is he just going to send it without roach speed? I'm so confused what he's doing right now. He's remaking it.
He's starting it again. Like, oh,
so Rogue, he started roach speed, made roaches, cancelled it, got supply blocked, made drones. Messy setup here from Rogue.
Yeah. Okay. So Solar's going for his own layer, but obviously his roach speed will be very far away from completion.
Yeah, the Lings run up.
Oh, okay. No. So he wanted to not let Solar see that he's getting the very quick roach speed. So he cancels it and starts remaking it once the Lings were out of vision
the
again.
idea is it upgrades kind of fast, so you can cancel it and start it, and it doesn't throw the whole tempo of the rush off, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and we're going into the Spire.
Going down on the back of this. So he's going to have roaches with speed.
So
a Muta follow-up, and then he's also getting his 3rd base as well.
What's important here is my assumption is that this Spire is a late decision here from Rogue. It is late because we had excess resources. We had excess minerals, we had excess gas when Rogue threw it down, so it looks like it was not necessarily planned. I believe it's because his timing has been delayed, right? They're talking about how he had to cancel and restart roach speed. Because he missed his timing here, it looks like he wants to be a little bit flexible by going for the Spire. If it goes unscouted, it can do a lot of damage, of course, but Solar does get in with the Overseer. No, never mind, the scout is denied, and Solar does not confirm.
That Spire it's getting closer and closer to being done. You can see there's a lot of gas banked up.
Solar, he is now focusing on his own Roach army upgrade of Roach
Saving some
production.
gas to get those mutas out. Another Overlord falls for Rogue. A little bit unfortunate there, but he's gonna have
And Solar is going to have better upgrades. He's going to have 1-1. But the longer this goes on, I mean, the worse it's going to be for Solar.
And he's got the Spire behind this. Let's see if Solar is able to put the pieces together here.
Like, Solar has to hit before mutas hit the field.
And his Roach speed is done now.
Here come the mutas. Solar, he might be waiting for +1 range.
The mutas are going to be coming out now. And we have Solar teching into Ravagers. Now, with Solar, he can't attack Rogue at all.
Yeah, so he's going to commit.
There's no mutas unless he's willing to basically try to trade out and basically
he's going for it.
trample the defense.
Solar's going for a big all-in. Under 3 base saturation. 51. 51 drones, 3 base all-in here. 2.5 base all-in out of Solar.
You might suspect, right? Some of these games, even if you don't scout it, you kind of know.
It's all or nothing. Either Solar kills Rogue or he dies trying, or at least he cripples him.
We'll see how he behaves. Okay, so the mutas have
It's
been
go time.
revealed now.
Yeah, I think Solar is actually still going to send it. He's
Yeah,
making
he has
nothing
to.
but lings behind this.
He has to send it.
Whilst mutas are out,
He chose not to drone.
Eventually, but it takes a very long time. Going to go to work on these Ravagers first.
We'll
Super
lose
expensive
Ravagers.
units. Picking those off is very nice. But don't
Heavy losses for Solar already.
Push.
Dives
my
in the
God,
army.
Angle, you know, it's funny. He had this wall
Lands
in
one
earlier,
bile.
but now things are kind of stuck outside, right? He can't really get back through there.
And Solar, he will break into the natural, but he needs more damage.
On the ramp, I mean, just tearing through everything. Now, he is going to have a couple reinforcements on the outside. The mutas are still doing
He needs to get into the mineral line. Solar. He's running out of steam.
Still plugged up.
Solar, he's running out of steam. It's too late. It's too late. He fails to break through.
The work line or anything like that. So if they trade Roaches for Roaches and he has mutas left, that's a very good spot for him. And the last Roaches of Solar are forced to retreat here. I can't believe he held that. Excuse me.
I actually thought it was going to go really badly. When I saw him on the outside, I'm like, oh, well, that's the worst.
I thought he was
position.
dead. Like when
What?
he got caught on the ramp and surrounded by everything.
Honestly, maybe it was actually better that he was out there because everything could.
Now, a big part of that was the mutas. Remember, they killed, was it 2 or 3 Ravagers? 2 or 3 Ravagers ahead of time, so they did slow down Solar quite a bit. Likewise, we saw that Rogue only made a handful of mutas. Only 6, I think? Only 6 mutas. And now Rogue, he's in a very, very strong position here. He has map control.
But I wouldn't say he's like ahead so much that it is. Well, he's actually making a couple more drones here, so you know maybe he'll get even further. He's gonna have 9 more drones hatching.
Rogue's in a strong
Just
position.
fired up a bunch more. Looks like he may take the income advantage for the first time in a long time here. The last 5 minutes. But I mean, having these mutas out, being able to clear all the overlords of Solar, put him in the dark, take your 4th base unscouted. These are all really big things.
So Solar's going to try to turtle. Solar is behind. He's down in workers, down in economy. He's going to try to turtle up. He's going into fast lurker den. This is a very stark contrast between Solar and Rogue. When Rogue was in the same position previously, and he tried to go into sorry, I say Rogue, SHIN. No, yeah, Rogue. My apologies. When he tried to go into infestors, and into Hive and into Vipers, and he skipped Hydras entirely. Here, Solar is embracing Lair Tech and going into Hydra Lurker instead of trying to rush into the Hive. This is safer for Solar.
Unlike a lot of these other games we've seen so far.
But it's still a really well positioned because he has lost control.
He basically just decided to balloon his economy out even better. And I think that actually puts a little bit of pressure on Solar here because Solar either has to play catch up.
Yeah, Shu, I did notice. They did say timing attacks. Yeah, they did.
Generally, if your first attack fails,
they said the thing. They said the thing.
You're already behind. It should be hard to kind of math out an advantage with that.
The first lurker is morphing here for
It's
Solar.
always time to attack
He's able
somewhere.
to hold this push. There's a lot of Roach Ravager moving across the map right now. Will Rogue actually decide to commit to this? It seems like he won't.
And Solar, he's actually not getting a 4th. He's not getting a 4th base. He's making more roaches.
You know, try to pick some of those off with biles, make them burrow.
If you can hit right before Lurker Tech's done, it's really good.
I actually favor Solar's position now. I was concerned if Rogue if he doubled down into mass muta and contained Solar, but he didn't. Right? He's stuck on Roach Ravager, and if Solar successfully gets into Lurkers, Lurkers will outscale Roach Ravager. He just needs a little bit more time. Lurkers, like, they're almost ready.
Outside of your base, so the Lurkers are kind of forced into a very defending role, which means taking this 4th base is going to be hard. It does feel like the wall.
Solar has the better ground army, straight up, just the superior ground army. And Rogue is trying to get into Lurkers himself.
Is really strong in these kind of positions, right? Like he's very unlikely to overextend. He's very unlikely to feed into the opponent.
So I was going to
Rogue
be
is a
careful.
late game ZVZ god, which he showed against Serral yesterday. I could not believe the level of games there. The Nidus Lurker harass, the Burrow Roach harass, the Overlord drops. Like, he was just using all these different methods. Niduses were popping up left, right, and center. These mutas trying to get some work done. He's actually going to.
I mean, context matters. Like, it was a very different kind of game state against Serral. Very different.
Engagement will have to back out, but actually loses quite a lot of work, units there.
Yeah, Rogue here extends.
Yeah,
He extends, he bleeds out a lot of Red Ravager. As we try to emphasize, Solar has a superior army. He's got his lurkers.
This is
The lunkers,
Solar's
pappy.
real opportunity here. He needs to.
And Rogue, he's caught out. Like, Rogue, he can't. He can't stop this. His lurker den is halfway done.
Now taking his very first fourth.
Yeah, no, I mean, Rogue has no lurkers right now. His lurker den is.
Solar, he cannot be stopped. He can't be
Solar
stopped.
does have lurkers. If he can get them into a good offensive position, it could be very strong. He split his army into two kind of forces right now.
Yeah, a bit of miscontrol there from Solar. There we go, Del Snipe 1, 2 Ravagers, Lurkers are moving
On
in.
the other side, he's going to go for a little pincer
Solar, he's
maneuver
gaining
here
more
as
ground.
he starts to set up everything and move in.
Yeah, he's hitting into.
And you can see Rogue just getting bullied. He's just getting bullied back here. He cannot engage into the Lurkers. The Lunkers, pappy. Rogue, he will win on left-hand flank. That is true. Solar did overextend.
It does not seem that.
But here, Solar
Solar's
takes a
able
bit
to
of a fight.
advance at all. I don't know that he's going to be able to break any of these positions. The lurkers are so far away; they're not complementing.
Yeah, these are layer tech Lurkers, no range.
I mean, they're not even doing anything in the fight.
Yeah, they are between all these Zerg bases, though, so Rogue will have to.
Oh, Rogue is going to try to break out.
Great engagement
Oh
by
my
him.
God.
Gonna take out all these lurkers.
He's
Solar
trying.
making a ton more units behind this.
It's a
but
rough fight.
Actually, is that fight? I thought he was winning that fight, but it's suddenly turning
Nah.
around here. More reinforcements showing up for Solar.
As I mentioned, trying to push into Lurkers is brutal. Very inefficient fight here for Rogue.
There's a lurker at the other base, the fourth base.
Rogue, he plummets in supply.
And yeah, things are getting chaotic. GG. Wow.
Yeah, Solar going up against a brick wall there, just not able to do anything.
Solar?
Cool way to see Rogue end that. He basically held off
What?
the push and then did not engage.
The solo one.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah.
sorry.
What?
Yeah, it was wild. I thought like Rogue was cleaning that up.
What are these guys talking about? But GG well played. Again, Rogue, he was behind coming into the last like 5 minutes of that game. Oh, I say 5 minutes. Basically, I had made the assumption that Rogue was going to double down with mutas. He chose not to. He chose to double down on Roach Ravager, which means he gets outscaled because Solar, he decided to try to rush and turtle up and build up into Lurker tech. And Lurkers, they outscale the ground army here. Lurkers, they did outscale, they did overwhelm. We saw that Rogue could not push into Lurkers. I mean, I say could not. He tried. He tried, and pushing into Lurkers is never a good idea with Roach Ravager. He traded very inefficiently, and he plummeted in supply as Lurkers, even layer tech Lurkers, were superior there. Solar, he was able to get into it, and he was very aggressive and decisive with it as well. It's not like he built up into Lurkers and he got a fourth base and droned and got into hive tech. No. He intentionally moved out with layer tech, did not get a fourth base, did not get a hive, went for one big push with around, say, like 6 to 8 Lurkers, and did break Rogue. GG well played. With that, we're now getting to our next game. We're going to be loading into the Ace match, the final game of the series here. We're going to be loading into Rogue versus Solar, Game 7. I think they cut into a break. Yeah. They cut into a break. We'll be back soon with that final game. See you soon. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back here to the final game of the series. Welcome back here to the RSL, the Rival StarCraft League Season 6 Playoffs, Day number 6 co-stream. We are here. We've returned. We're mid-series Rogue versus Solar. We've made it all the way to the ace match. Game number 7. It all ends here. It all ends in this 7th and final game. It's been an intense back and forth so far between these two players. We've been seeing a lot of aggression, a lot of early game cheese shenanigans, just hyper aggression all the way, and that aggression will continue as we load into Rorschach. Rorschach is the final game here, the final map of the map pool, the final map in this map pool, I should say. Rorschach is a very small map, short rush distance by ground. Aggression is favored quite heavily here, and we should be getting into some aggression. I'm imagining Rogue opens up with the pool first. We'll see if Solar takes the bait and goes for a 10 or 11 pool. We'll see. We shall see. You see in the chat. Match is cool. Don't think anyone expects to take any games against Cyril. Did you not watch Home Story Cup? Cyril, he was dropping maps. He was dropping series at Home Story Cup as well. I do recommend the VODs on the channel over on YouTube if you missed out on some Home Story Cup action. Let's go. Jesus.
All right, guys, we're going to go into game number 7. This is it. We've been getting a lot of close ZVZs, by the way. Definitely a treat. ZVZ, the matchup to be the best if you're going to win Season 6.
He's doing it. 11-12.
We're looking at Solar right now. There it is, the pool on 10.
That's
11,
not...
actually.
11.
Ooh, slightly different.
Now it's 10 after the drone goes
They
away. Was it always pool on 11?
It was.
So he did do a 10
He
pool.
did do a 10 pool earlier?
He
Okay.
might have done 111 pool earlier as well.
It took all broadcasts. It looks like the casters have finally been able to count and recognize that whenever they say 10 pool, it's never been a 10 pool. it's been an 11-12. God damn it. At least they realized. At least they finally realized. So again, it's 11-12. For those who are curious, 11 pool, 12 gas. This leads into a Ling Flood, into a Baneling Nest as well, into a Bane Bust. This is hyper aggressive out of Solar. But again, will Rogue go pool first? No. Hatch first out of Rogue. Risky move here on Rorschach. Rogue does go hatch first. Now, there is a chance for Solar to get damage done now. Previously, the last time we saw Solar go for an 11-12, he was almost like build or countered because Rogue went pool first. Now that Rogue went hatch first, Solar has a chance to do damage. He has a chance.
Oh my god. This
of course he
is.
is.
Be some nice aggression coming out of Solar yet again. Is it
Solar's
all going to come down to another...
I like how the casters are freaking out about the Baneling Nest, even though they've literally seen this very same build 3 times now in this series. It's happened 3 times. God damn it.
The orc statue.
SMH my head.
Yeah, his favorite thing.
But it's okay. They learned how to count to 11. They learned.
He's got the link. Links are inbound.
And really, that's all that matters, right? That's all that matters is that now they know, and now they can lock that away in their memories and their minds for future casts.
Yeah, this hatchery is
They can lock it away.
some time, of course. The Lings need to respect that. They need to make sure they at least kill that. If you try to go for the killing move and go into the main base, then there's a great chance that you don't actually get that damage.
Now again, Solar wants Rogue to pull the boys. He wants him to pull the boys.
Have to kill this off, and he will do just that. Spine crawler is being made in the main base.
Baneling Nest.
In response from Rogue.
Rogue, he's crazy. He's going for a counterattack.
The Banelings
So
are going to start to get more
basically what's happening here, Rogue, he's like, you know what? You're going to kill my base. Straight up. You're just going to kill my hatchery. I'm getting ready to counterattack and to backstab you and to go for a big move out instead. He will lose this expansion, of course. The hatchery will go down. Ooh, we do waste the Banelings, though. That should not have happened. Miscontrol at a Solar.
Use both of them to kill the hatchery. I think it's okay.
Is it okay?
No,
All right.
it was a
I
waste.
guess, yeah,
No.
Maybe you want to go for more damage.
No, it was not okay. It was not okay.
So,
It was not okay because Rogue is Ling flooding. Rogue is all in. It was not okay.
Solar's going to continue to kill the Ling. So basically, Solar is
The caches are coping, Pappy. They're
the
coping.
Banelings to kill that hatchery.
Now we do have one more Baneling.
He's gonna
True.
go for more damage. He's gonna
Can he get the
run up.
queen?
The ramp is plugged
Can
up.
he get the queen?
The queen is soaking up a lot of
He
damage. The
can.
queen is surrounded, and the Bane
Oh my
is
God.
targeted by the spine. The spine basically...
The queen goes down. Solar pulls away, but again, Link speed is almost done for Rogue, and Solar has no Link speed. Remember that.
Oh, he canceled the Banelings.
He
I
canceled.
do like that, actually. I think he kind of realized that the
Oh.
aggression from Solar has ceased at
No.
this point. Solar's going into drones and a hatchery himself. He hasn't. Rogue hasn't seen.
So right now they're talking about the Baneling Nest as if it was going to be used defensively. No, not at all. It was meant to be used aggressively. For Rogue to cancel the Baneling Nest here, now to restart it. Oh god, it's going to be so much later.
No knowing that he was going to be able to defend. He does lose the queen, of course, which is a little unfortunate.
Now again, Rogue is behind. Rogue, he's now in a really rough position here because his base is so delayed. I assumed he was going to go for a counter Bane bust, but now he has no window of time where he can achieve that. Ling speed does kick in, of course. He can move out with Lings, but Solar should be okay.
Flip it. Right now, Solar is ahead. You know, he's got that second hatchery up. He's going to have drones coming out a little bit quicker. Rogue sends his Lings in here.
There's
There is a
queen.
queen to defend.
Like,
He's
again,
gonna loop around
imagine this position, but with more Lings and a couple of Banelings for Rogue. Like, Rogue just wins. Like if Rogue had let that Banelings finish, like, he could like, kill here.
We'll make third base now. Oh, no, never mind. I shouldn't have done that either.
All right, Link's gonna get
But again, Rogue, he second-guessed himself. Like, he second-guessed himself. He was indecisive here. He doubles back. Drones up.
Just a moment, actually, waiting for a couple of those.
Now, there is going to be a window in time where Rogue, of course, has better upgrades. That is true. Like, he does have an upgrade advantage, but getting into an economic game, though, is still going to be rough for Rogue.
Into a macro game for a little bit longer, at least. Of course, he could try to pivot at any point, but lots of more drones hitting the field.
Dude,
he really wants
he's
to get
making
there.
11 drones. Wow. Okay, well, the armor upgrades.
Yeah, Rogue, Solar's just chilling.
Into some kind of time, and it doesn't really feel
Solar
like
droning up really heavily here, going for the lair. Solar getting further ahead.
You know, the armor upgrade's done, but it's not like, I mean, the army supply is literally, you know, very, very small. It's at 12 right now here for Rogue. He is making more Lings. Okay, so he is going to commit from this.
And he's committing.
He's going for the third base as well, just to make sure he's got that on the back end as well, just to be able to transition into it.
You've got the money, you might as well get the hatchery, right?
Yeah, the extra production that it gives as well will be pretty decent.
Is he?
A couple of little Banelings trying to do...
Rogue, he moved the drone there in vision of the Overlord. He does start the third base, so it's very late. And here comes the bust. Here he comes.
Scouting for that.
Solar, does he have a wall? No wall.
So actually not seen at all.
Ooh, base out of Baneling.
Lings and get inside with the Banelings. They're actually trying to connect
Oh,
onto the Banelings
my
of
God.
Solar.
Gets one.
Won't get insane connections there, just a few, and then the Lings will be able to be dealt with as
waste
well.
another
The rest of
Baneling.
the unit's going to try to filter in now. A nice connection there.
Soul's control has been lacking. He's been miscontrolling.
From Rogue,
Oh my God.
The Banelings
The
trying to shoot
carapace.
the
He
connections.
gets in.
They've got just 1 HP each.
Oh
but
my
they're going to be
God.
able to get some connections onto those drones.
Oh, he needs to go to the back. Go to the
All
back.
those Banelings. Oh, he gets in. He gets in. He breaks on through. Critical
So Stroke's to work at
damage.
26. He's not done. There's more coming in.
And what's winning Rogue this game? Carapace. You saw those Banelings survive with 1 HP. That was a Carapace upgrade. That was Carapace. Massive connections. GG gets called.
Rogue will be the one to head on to BlizzCon as well. It's going to be a rematch between Cyril and Rogue at the BlizzCon finals. Congratulations to him.
Yes.
And his dip machine in the background.
I know. I'll tell you what.
Ooh.
He might win big and buy a golden dip machine.
GG, well played here again. Solar, he was ahead, he was in a better position, he was droning, but Solar had no SimCity. He had no wall. He had no wall to wall off his natural. Without a wall, he was so vulnerable to a Bane bust. And Rogue, a big factor there, was that Carapace upgrade. Again, to wind it back, typically Banelings, they die to 2 Banelings. 2 Banelings kill a Baneling. Here, Solar, he had 2 Banelings, they connected, but the Banelings of Rogue survived because of Carapace. That's why they had a slither of HP. That was a Carapace upgrade influencing that. Otherwise, if he didn't have that upgrade, then a different story, right? He would have lost all those Banelings. So like 3 Banelings barely alive, and they busted into the mineral line. So again, a very, very clutch move there from Rogue to commit with said Link Bane all in. Meanwhile, Solar, again, he was unable to wall off in time, unable to seal off on 2 bases, was caught with his pants down. GG, well played. Very intense back and forth. Went all the way to the ace match. In the end, Rogue will claim it. And what matters most here, the casters, they learned how to count to 11. Let's go.
The last day in the studio.
Just in time for BlizzCon as well. Yeah.
We're gonna try to upgrade
Just in time for
You
BlizzCon.
guys have noticed that like every season we're trying to
They'll
kinda
lock
add
it
more
in.
stuff
As we have confirmation, of course, that means it's going to be a BlizzCon finals between Cyril and Rogue. Cyril and Rogue are going to be facing off over at BlizzCon. That's going to be the RSL Season 6 finals. Just to once again make sure there's no confusion, BlizzCon is going to be the RSL Season 6 finals. It's RSL at BlizzCon. It's not BlizzCon as a separate event. It's RSL at BlizzCon. And the RSL 2026 finals will be at London, or will be in the UK in London. That's going to be the end of year finals over in the UK, over in London. That's where the best players from all 3 seasons of this year's RSL are going to be facing off. That'll be RSL season season 4 champion, season 5 champion, season 6 champion. The 3 champions are going to be facing off. And last year it was the 3 champions, and then they had an offline qualifier because everything was in Korea. They're probably going to have an online qualifier this time. They'll be like either that or they just seed it instead. But last time there was an offline qualifier, and that's how we had that extra 4th player. We'll see how they adjust the format this time for that event over in the UK. In London. Otherwise, we're going to be wrapping up here for the time being. Again, congratulations to Rogue. Shout out to Cyril, of course, for making it through yesterday. It's going to be Rogue versus Cyril ZVZ finals over at BlizzCon with RSL Season 6. If you want to support them, you can do so via following them and support them via Patreon. !RSL in the chats. !RSL. You get a link to the Patreon page of the RSL to be able to vote on players, vote on maps, to get discounts as well, all via their Patreon. Of course, do check them out on YouTube. Do check us out on YouTube as well. YouTube is the place to be for VOD content. All the VODs, all on the YouTubes. Just paying out. The other thing I should mention as well here is when it comes to our next broadcast, as long as we have permission, again, we do have permission to co-stream RSL. If we have permission for BlizzCon, we'll co-stream that as well. When it comes to the rest of our schedule here, very quickly, we do have, bam, our weekly schedule. We're going to be live. We're going to be live here in around 12 hours. 12 hours time with OSC, with the OSC Elite Rising Star day number 3 or day number 4. One of those two. I can't quite recall. I'm going to be live with OSC. That'll be in 12 hours time. We have Sparkling Tune Cup on Tuesday, Pegasus Cup on Wednesday. We have Kung Fu Cup Wednesday evening, the Pondcast, StarCraft Evolution League, SDO, and STC. Plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft throughout the week. We got you covered. We got you covered here. So again, we're live at least once a day, sometimes multiple times a day. As I mentioned previously, we are cutting back some of the casting that we usually do. For example, we are not casting Wardy TV Monday. We decided to take a step back, to ease up on the Monday cast. We will not be covering Wardy TV Monday live. Instead, I mean, that's going to be covered by Wardy anyway. Usually we cast it as well, but we're going to be taking a bit of a step back just to have a bit of time to ourselves. Baby. Yeah. Again, barely any sleep. It would be nice to get some sleep some of these days. True. Would be nice. Whew. But otherwise, we are going to be wrapping up. Just catching up with the chat. Just catching up. Didn't want to rematch. They both played well. Yeah. I mean, regardless, it's going to be a fun ZVZ nonetheless. It's going to be fun. Every 11 pool is a 12 pool, but not every 10 pool. Not every 10 pool is an 11 pool. True. Kappa. I forgot about Homestar Cup. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, with that, we're going to be wrapping up here for the time being. Again, for the for the London event, it's going to be November 21st and 22nd. They've yet to announce the location of the event over in London, but I'm sure they will soon TM once they have confirmation, once they release those tickets. Most likely they'll be doing that after BlizzCon. They probably don't want to like confuse people and mix things up a little bit, so probably post BlizzCon, they'll be posting event details and ticket sales for the offline finals of RSL. Otherwise, we're going to be heading off. Here for the time being. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys either in 12 hours or in 24 hours. Or in 48 hours for our next cast. 12 hours for OC, 48 for Tuna Cup. We'll see you then. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. See you next time.
Mori.